Are we ready for this absolute whale of a content machine?
The exact point of the so-called radicalization funnel, where, for example, Hasan and JT catch them while they're young, as they say.
Had I been duped? Was Hasan presenting a Trojan horse to my community, where he was just a left-leaning Democrat like myself, and as he said in the previous video, was funneling them into radicalization and turning them against me?
I don't think in my entire life, in all urban warfare, I have ever seen someone hide behind the bodies of Arabs more than this cynical Ottoman colonizer cunt. Hamas could not hold a candle to the amount of human shielding that this guy does. And criticism comes and he's like, oh, I need a dead Arab, quick, give me some Yemenis.
And there are baby settlers as well.
Can you just shut the bloodthirsty, violent
We knew the world would not be the same. A few people laughed. A few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu takes on his multi-armed form and says, now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Wow.
We think the Houthi Ansarallah is doing what we think.
fucking bloodthirsty, violent pig dog. Why am I held accountable? God forbid you throw up the fucking green Hamas banner.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm
All
cooked,
together.
I'm cooked.
Happy birthday from Twitch, Hasan. Happy birthday from Twitch.
Oh, hi there. It's me, your old friend, Ethan Klein. It's been a while since we've last spoken. In that time, I've had 3 kids, all boys. I've lost 100 pounds, and I've pissed off 75% of the internet. Probably a lot of you guys too. Actually talking about there at the NRA meeting that's today in Texas. Someone should
God, he looked so different, didn't he? 100 pounds. How the f do you lose 100, bro? I've been losing a bit of weight recently, mostly because of, I guess, Vyvanse. Oh, Ozempic, yeah. Yeah, that would do it. Is that just, sorry, is that just like a wonder drug right now? Is Ozempic really just like the magic weight loss drug?
Oh yeah, and I got a tattoo also, so I'm cool like that
cute.
now. Left or right, I always thought that despite our differences, there was one thing we could all agree on. And what was that? That we love America and everything she stands for.
Mom and Dad and apple pie.
Sure, there's plenty to criticize and endless things to improve, but I thought it was about making a more perfect union, not tearing it down.
And marching bands, a pride that only
The thing is, there's something kind of scary brewing in America. Communism.
That's America. That's America to me.
I started to show a couple of years.
It's kind of like a, talking about it, like the threat of communism is like, I don't know if it's the best way to address it, because whenever people use the word communism, the problem is that it's quite nebulous to most people. And I think most people don't really take communism as a threatening thing. Like they just kind of roll their eyes at it, probably because some people associate it with like cringe left way, like a Red Scare from the 50s, McCarthyism. And I think the big problem is that people like Hasan and communists, like, is that they are kind of like dishonest, cowardly, manipulative cunts, and their whole thing is that they will often make, to a untrained eye, they will make communism just appear very, very synonymous with like social democracy and like just being like a nice, decent, like mild improvements leftist, like comparing, like invoking the Nordic model, right? When what they really want is state control over all the shit and re-education camps for people who disagree, and Islamic fundamentalism to sweep the Middle East, because apparently that's connected, right? And they don't really care that Russia annexed Crimea. Like, so yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there needs to be a better. Obviously, tankies is like a thing, like Stalinists, because they're harder to defend than just because like I used to call myself a communist for like years, but I never wanted the state to own everything. I never cared for Stalinism and all that. What I wanted was like social democratic reforms and also workplace democracy, in the hope that eventually like workplace democracy would slowly and gradually become more the predominant way of managing the economy compared to private systems, like to traditional firms. I just thought there'd be like, right now it's mostly private traditional firms and some workplace democracies. I just wanted to be the other way around, see how that goes. But that's just not what people who are online who call themselves communists think. At least like a lot of them don't. And the ones who pretend that that's what they want are only doing it to pipeline you into the thing that they actually want, which is really annoying. But like, it just doesn't carry the same weight as something like fascism, or like Marxist-Leninism doesn't either, or Stalinism or things like that.
Years ago with my acquaintance, Hasan Piker. You might remember him from such classics as
America deserved 9/11, dude. Fuck it. I'm saying it.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers in a video game. Sorry. Holy shit. That's not what I said, you dumb cracker bitch.
And of course, the Leftovers podcast, which was our show, which we made broadly to goof on.
The size of this fucking hat.
Of course, the Leftovers podcast,
The fuck?
which was our show, which we made broadly to goof on the antics of the right. Now, to be clear, I knew about all these edgy and controversial jokes at the time we made the show together.
Yeah.
Because who am I to judge?
There was Ethan Klein being a delightful human being.
I was just going to say, if there's another Holocaust, if they start rounding up the Jews again, I hope Ben gets... He presents himself as someone like me, a left-leaning Democrat who supports basic things. And we went on making the show for about 2 years, and everything was good. Everyone was having fun. The audience was having fun. No problem. That was until this happened. We were doing our regular show, and for the first time I noticed an inordinate amount of radical, hardcore leftists. I mean, I thought we were social democrats, not whatever this was. I don't hate the idea of like people who can be successful. I think it's good that people can achieve success in the term monetary success. I mean, that's what that means, right? I do. There's nothing wrong with that.
Because I see so many people in the chat saying no.
I don't know what y'all are tripping about. Like, what the fuck do you want?
What is the idea that you guys are looking for?
You guys are all like radical communists? There's that many radical communists?
Oh, no.
Suck it, chat. You're watching a capitalist pig. Deal with it. And then
it was oh god, I still remember in my Discord. Oh fuck, man! I remember when I was like this. It was a more of a gradual realization, but it just when I realized these hammers and sickles and these Lenin these are actually they're not jokes. Young Stalin actually they're not jokes. Oh shit! Fuck! What happened here? What's going on? Yeah.
Happened. This comment from Hasan really started to sound some alarms in my head.
If you're in a socialist country with multiple parties, and one of the parties is a capitalist party, which would surely exist.
Yeah.
What would you do if that party started gaining momentum?
The solution to that would always be education and offering more
re-education?
Re-education, certainly, yeah. There should be an enforcement mechanism, and in that enforcement mechanism, I think like rehabilitation, which would include re-education as well.
What? Like it's camps. It's just in a camp. Enforcement mechanism for what was it for? Re-education for people who want to support a capitalist party. Re-education. Fuck me, man. There's a real cop out that some people can do, and I think Hasan tried it in this conversation. When you're asked that, like, if you're in a socialist society and people want to start voting for a capitalist party, what do you do? Well, one could just be like, well, yeah, let them. Socialism's better. They're not going to win. Just let them try and lose. Like, if they win, we've done something wrong. Simple as. Or you just say, well, maybe there are compromises. Maybe there are some areas of the economy that might be better under a traditional firm system. maybe workplace democracy or whatever else we want otherwise, or if it's even state central planning, maybe that doesn't provide the best result in, say, somewhere like retail, or maybe it's not the best thing for any other kind of industry. But for example, like, it still doesn't stop it being a socialist society, right? If you were a country of workplace democracies, but about 15% of the economic activity was by private firms, traditional firms, would it not be a socialist society anymore? How does that work? You know how, like, in the UK, land ownership is very much like you buy and sell, like a landlord. Like, it's a free market, right? But some land is owned by the crown. Doesn't mean because of feudal society. It just means that we're a capitalist society with some feudal leftovers, right? Or when the Industrial Revolution was happening and some of the land was owned by wealthy landowners and merchants and businessmen and factory owners, but most of the land was owned by lords. Well, then, yeah, it was like emerging capitalism. So there are ways you can get around this question. I don't know why he would go to re-education. It's so fucking dumb. As someone who claims to be a propagandist who wants to rein people in through the pipeline, like, bro, just say something else. Just say, like, yeah, the country doesn't need to be 100% socialist. It can have capitalist elements, or it can have capitalist parties. You just need to work against them and do the job. Like, just do better, improve your own ideology, right? Do you know what capitalists do when there are socialist parties running in their country? They sit there and watch them run. Right? They watch the communist parties run and get 1% of the vote, or 0.2% of the vote, if anything, right? They get that, and they're just like, okay, fuck you. Sorry. Or maybe in Hasan's head, I guess, like, they threatened to kill them, or yeah, I don't know. But you don't re-educate them. Why is that? We don't put people into fucking camps or enforcement mechanisms or rehabilitate people who are communists. We tried that in the past, actually, and it was pretty shit of us to do that. Yeah. He's so stupid. He's just such a fucking insanely dumb person. The fact that was his answer.
If putting capitalists in re-education camps isn't disturbing enough, I started to notice that Hasan was carrying a lot of water for communist states' war crimes and genocides.
What do you call Crimea? I call it a part of Russian territory, bitch. That's what I call Crimea. I call it Crimea River, a Russian river. The annexation.
Like, why does this fucking moron not watch mainstream, or academic or popular academic socialists? Does he not watch, like, people like Yanis Varoufakis or like Zizek or any people like this, where he can just, like, learn that you don't have to support the annexation of Crimea to align with leftism? Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to realize that a lot of Hasan's education, he's not actually like a millennial who binge watches Chomsky and Varoufakis and Novara or whatever. He's getting his education. He's like a Zoomer who's learning from the Deprogram podcast, like the way he talks about this stuff.
Of Crimea is absolutely a justifiable annexation.
Tibet was literally a fucking feudal slave mandate. Autonomous zone.
China did them a favor.
That was one. I mean, in America, when I say something like this, people get very upset. You know, we talk about the Dalai Lama saying "suck my tongue" or whatever, but, like, that's not far from the norm in fucking normal Tibetan existence before the Communist Party came in and
so China unilaterally took over Tibet.
The Ottoman colonizer logic.
Culture.
The colonizer mindset.
They
Let's go.
basically are trying to, homogenize the culture.
If your culture,
they're trying to spoil the religion and the identity.
The part of feudal warlords and slavery, abolishing that. Yes, I do think that is good.
No, China did them a favor.
This is a good way to describe Taiwan.
It's the same argument that British people use, like the British Tories use to justify the empire in India. You know, because India was pretty fucked up before. Yeah, the Aztecs, same thing. Yeah. The Aztecs were really fucked up. Like, yeah, India was a fucking. The caste system was obviously like a big issue, but India, it was so much worse before the empire. But again, like, that's not justification. It's not, because obviously it's not. If all you did was go there and purge the oppressors, I don't think anyone would have much of a problem, like Civil War style. But that's not what they did. They suppressed the entire fucking Buddhist culture and shit. They purged people for a lot more than being slave owners in Tibet. Okay, I'm just saying.
on as well, the American federal government going into the fucking South and killing, unfortunately.
The South, which was part of the Union, like it was declared, they agreed to be part of a union and then went against its rules that they'd signed up to. Tibet did not do that. Tibet was autonomous, like from 1912 until the 50s?
Not all of them, but a decent amount of slavers and defenders of slavery. This is violent retribution from a powerful federal government that squashed, okay?
Tibet is the South in the Civil War?
Yes.
And most disturbingly, a complete whitewashing of the Chinese genocide against their Muslim minority group, the Uyghurs.
Don't they have Uyghur death camps?
It's not a death camp. They were re-education camps.
Now we're toning down the language. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, they're not death camps. Yeah, they're not. True. Just it's a very selective use of that response.
They're no longer an operation.
Is that
according
true?
to the Associated Press?
Okay. I saw this crazy documentary, and I don't know. I don't know the surrounding narrative or anything about it, but it was about there was doctors in the area. They would be able to procure organs.
No, no.
I'm telling you, they were in China with
that one is like Shen.
That's just a ridiculous. By the way, let me tell you about this fucking story that no credible historian is ever going to touch about a kid who was like forcibly thrown in the oven by his dad. Yeah, let's do that one in the Dariusine massacre. Let's use that one. Let's use that comically evil story. But fuck this one. No way.
They're like, we can get you an organ from a Uyghur. But why is that? Is that really that crazy?
The Associated Press quietly fucking wrote an article that didn't get a lot of coverage in mainstream media about how, like, okay, well, all the concentration camps have been closed now. Like, all the re-education camps are closed now in fucking Xinjiang, and it's like very different vibes in Xinjiang. And now, it's the tourism hour.
Let's see what the Associated Press actually had to say about this. These are all AP articles from the last 2 years.
If that's your argument, like, are you not conceding that it was a really bad thing to do then? What, it happened, but then it stopped? Can I do that? Can I just say, like, oh yeah, the Israeli bombings in Gaza, well, they're done now. They stopped. Big fucking deal, bro. Like, what? It's tourism hour. It's fucking seaside real estate now.
Years. UK independent body reports China committed genocide in Xinjiang. China sanctioned a U.S. research firm and 2 individuals over a report about the human rights violations in Xinjiang.
It's the tourism hour.
To China's fury, UN accuses Beijing of Uyghur rights abuses.
Tourism hour.
Uyghur County in China has the highest prison rate in the world. 1 in 25 people is in a Chinese prison.
It's the tourism hour.
48 Uyghurs detained in Thailand for almost 11 years are on hunger strike to protest their imminent deportation to China, where they face imprisonment or execution.
Not only does this AP article seem not to exist, reading the AP proved exactly the opposite. Hasan
Hasan does this a lot. He will refer to an article that just it might not exist, or it might exist, but it doesn't say the thing that he's claiming it says. He does this a lot. He did this with Al Ali. He was always like, there was always some BBC article or some AP article that vindicated him, but it never actually did. Yeah. Even Forensic Architecture didn't vindicate him. I know that's the line that they go with now, but okay, so I think this is the article he's actually referring to. Terror and tourism. Xinjiang eases its grip, but fear remains. And they go on to talk about how there was a brutal crackdown and how they demolished a lot of religious sites and how there's still a shitload of surveillance and still a load of fear. And it's not like they've undone the fact that they've moved a bunch of Han Chinese people into what used to be Uyghur houses, or even moved them in with the Uyghurs so that they could like finish the job or keep it going of like teaching them how to become more Han Chinese-like in terms of their culture. Yeah, so the way he's phrased this as well is just so watered down from how the article actually goes. Regardless of intent, one thing is clear. Many of the practices that made the Uyghur culture a living thing, raucous gatherings, strict Islamic habits, heated debate, have been restricted or banned. In their place, the authorities have crafted a sterilized version, one ripe for commercialization. Yeah, that's the whole point. It's a cultural purge. At some point, when you finish the job. What the fuck?
Happily eaten up the Chinese propaganda on this and has regurgitated it to his mainstream audience. Why is he defending China's genocide of their Muslim population? How does this even make sense? It only makes sense if A, he's being paid, or B, he has the political complexities of a 5-year-old. I know America Bad is a meme that people laugh at online, but with Hasan, this does actually seem to be the beginning and the end of his analysis.
2 principles. Let me explain to you. 2 principles that you should keep with you, coming from a person who's Turkish, okay? When you look at a situation in the Middle East, you look at what the local government is and who the Western forces are. Never align with the Western forces. So when I look at other countries, I look at the regional actor, whoever the regional power player is, and then I look...
Why did he say coming as someone who's Turkish? Like that's is that like an oppressed nation? Now Turkey's a fucking NATO member who have been conducting ethnic cleansing campaigns in Syria for years now. He's talking about northern Syria. Oh God, no, he's not. That's a joke. That's a fucking joke. He's not talking about. But yeah, it would be funny if he was. Turkey used to be a brutal empire. Like they committed genocide and shit.
I know Hasan likes anime. He took it upon himself to desecrate One Piece. Do you think he watches Naruto?
And now they're like a
verbal version of switching places with the log.
And now they're like a NATO member that is fucking with other countries' abilities to accede to NATO, and also very aggressively fucking with Arab countries. Like, what are you talking about? Coming as someone who's Turkish. Okay, dude.
Okay.
Oh, Dwayne, thanks for $10. I know Hasan likes anime. He took it upon himself to desecrate One Piece. Do you think he watches Naruto? I don't know what that means. Switching verbal places with the log? Sounds based? I don't know. Sure.
Who is backed by the Western superpowers? That's a principle that you could take home with you. If you want to actually be moral, or if you want to be smart about the way you analyze other countries, that's one basic principle that you can take home with you. All of a sudden, magically, you are above on your foreign policy analysis. You're going to be better off than 90% of people that look at the situation.
Wow, it's like there's just goodies and baddies. That's so convenient. Wow. Wow.
After seeing all of this,
that's a principle, LeMayo. I mean, it's a principle in the same sense that like the whites are the good guys and the non-whites are the bad guys. Like I guess that's a principle. Sure, why not?
Was already getting uncomfortable with our partnership. I started to wonder if I had any idea who this guy actually is. And then this happened.
We have breaking news out of Israel this morning, where Hamas has launched a surprise attack within Israel's borders overnight.
After the shock of October 7th, I noticed a huge increase of anti-Semitic comments from Hasan's stream and Discord, including from his head mod. I was disturbed that Hasan was seemingly okay with this.
Can you do you care that your chat is calling me racist? Do you make any attempt to modify?
I have not looked at my chat.
Moderate that at all?
I have not looked at my chat at all, but you have
I just opened it, but don't you have moderators? Do you care at all about what your audience says about me?
There's 32,000 people in here right now.
I'm just trying to tell you guys how it feels. And I'm fucking shocked that you don't care that people in your chat are saying, who the fuck is this child, cold, arrogant,
Ethan,
fuck?
I love you, but there's only so much I can do.
How can you be surprised when your Discord is literally full of fucking
Ethan, I love you, but there's only so much I can do if you're making that argument. You know that, right? Like
Hasan's chat had been calling me a Zionist, baby-killing genocider. Maybe it is on...
I'm like 2 minutes behind live, but the obvious comparison to a capitalist and a socialist society is a slavery party and an anti-slavery society limiting laws limiting their power and protect minority rights. I mean, you can do that if you want. I just don't think being a capitalist is like being a slave owner. It's just
unreasonable that I'm asking him to moderate his chat for a friend. He doesn't even know where I'm coming from because it's not something he would ever ask for.
And all these other content creators actually, you know, whipping their communities when their chat is going fucking absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
over random dumb shit and bringing my name up for no fucking reason.
Bring on yourself, Hasan. Sorry, you're just being racist. Brackets, my incredibly partisan and ideologically fucking insane definition of racism. That's just you do it to yourself, Hasan. What?
You were just allowing that shit to run rampant in your chat, and I thought that was fucked up.
Ethan, I love you, but there's only so much I can do.
Especially as someone who thought we were fucking friends. I think that's a reasonable expectation for someone who you consider to be a friend.
The problem wasn't that he was pro-Palestinian, because I share a lot of those views, and I've been a stalwart supporter of the Palestinian cause for many years. The problem with Hasan's coverage, and a lot of people like him, was their complete lack of empathy for the Jewish people who were frankly slaughtered by Hamas. He refused to show even a crumb of empathy for the Jewish victims.
But listen to what this guy has to say.
And as you might have seen, there was some sort of rave or desert party where they were having a great time until the resistance came in electrified hang gliders and took at least several dozen hipsters. But I'm sure they're doing very fine despite what the New York Post says. But nobody had seen this coming.
I mean, that's insane, right?
I don't even... Yeah, okay. Like,
okay.
I don't...
Why is he so fucking dumb, man? Sorry, Hasan has this really difficult situation where he's obviously got like a triangle of conflicting interests. One is being a popular mainstream political celebrity. The other is being an ideological extremist, tanky. And I guess the third point of that triangle is just being inept. It's just being like criminally fucking stupid. I've seen like Al Jazeera-esque pro-Palestinian people just say like, yeah, that's condemnable. Of course we don't condone what you would say, like, yeah, of course we don't condemn the attacking of the murder of civilians. That's a horrible thing to do. It's tragic. It's cold. It's extremist. It's like, it's inhuman. It's also not helpful. Okay, it puts Palestinians in a harder position because it effectively justifies the Israeli response. It gives Israel the grounds that they would require to conduct and continue the ongoing ethnic cleansing and genocide campaign on the Palestinian people. It opens Gaza up and says, here, bring it on. It gambles with the lives of millions of Palestinians for nothing in exchange. And it gives Israel all the rights to continue the apartheid project. Like, you can easily spin this into a do you see how you can acknowledge and then just start talking about how bad Israel is, right? You can do that. It's so easy. It's so fucking easy. But again, Hasan's like, he's just shit. He's really bad at it. Fuck me. It's the thing, right? It's the acknowledgement and the spin. That's what he needs. Yeah, that's horrible, condemnable. People should not be doing this. It doesn't help the Palestinians. It actually justifies the Israeli ethnic cleansing genocide campaign because now they're bombing. They're destroying 50% or 70% or 90% of the buildings. There's this many civilians dead. It's already more than cast lead in like 2 days. Look at the amount of like hospitals that are shut down. Did you know that in the West Bank that even before October 7th, this was the deadliest year since the second Intifada for Palestinians? And then suddenly you're like, wait, okay, whoa, okay, now we're talking, and now it's like we can't even remember the first time we've spoken about. He condemned it, he swept it away, and then just made it what he wanted to talk about. And you can't get him on that because he hasn't really said anything wrong, right? Like, he hasn't said anything like incorrect. He hasn't supported the guy who's defending October 7th. That's an effective propagandist, okay? That's how you do it, Hasan. You fucking idiot. Like, not seeing someone glorifying the murder of civilians and then just wincing like a fucking toddler who doesn't want to eat his vegetables. Like, yeah, yeah, it's bad. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do for you? Yeah, sure.
Criticizing people, you don't have to comment if you're not comfortable about it.
I honestly felt at times that he and his audience barely thought of Israelis as humans.
But this dude just called babies militants.
No, I understand. And there are baby settlers as well. But there are baby settlers as well. There are babies in the settlements.
Part of running defense for Hamas is downplaying the violence, specifically the sexual violence, which he's done a lot of.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much.
So that's the other part of this problem that many people that can't contend with. Like, the Palestinian resistance is not perfect. They're not like so good. They have magical bullets.
What do you mean magical bullets? Like, did they miss and rape people? They aimed their bullets at civilians. I don't, yeah. It's interesting because like Hasan complains about this clip being out of context. That's his new toy. He's like a fucking kid who's just learned a new word, and the word is out of context, right? It's the Jordan Peterson defense. The problem is that this clip is like the first half of it, you could understand why you're saying it, but it's like, yeah, the fact that Hamas commits rapes does not condemn 2 million Palestinians to death by Israeli airstrikes, right? It also does not condemn the Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza to have to be forced to live without a state and without their basic human rights, right? It's not like we don't, like you would say the same thing to Israel, right? People might say that Israel has no right to exist because they're committing a genocide or whatever, but it's like, that's not really how we treat any other country, right? We don't say, like, for all the shit that Russia's done with Ukraine, and not to mention former Soviet countries around them, no, we don't say Russia doesn't deserve to exist. We don't say abolish Russia, right? That by the same token, Palestinians don't lose their self-determination, their right to it, just because of the actions of Hamas. So you can make that argument, but the fact that he moved on to say the resistance isn't perfect, they don't have magical bullets. Well, no, it doesn't actually give you that position. It doesn't give you the out. It doesn't take you away from the fact that the problem here is that like Hamas is not the resistance, right? It's not an imperfect resistance. Like, what they're doing is not resisting occupation. They want to destroy a country.
The Palestinian resistance is not perfect. They're not like so good. They have magical bullets. Is not perfect.
Of course, if you compare the raw numbers, Gazans have lost a lot more than Israelis. 40,000 people have died, and neighborhoods have been completely flattened during this war. And while we should keep their plight at the top of our minds at all time, it also doesn't mean that we should disregard the lives of the Jewish people who are also affected by this, even if their suffering on the whole is not as great. Some of you may know that I'm an Israeli dual citizen. My wife is Israeli, my kids are half Israeli, and my entire in-law is Israeli. I lived there for 5 years, and I grew a closeness with the country and its people. One of the biggest issues between me, Hasan, and his community was that I am in favor of a two-state solution, while they are in favor of a one-state solution. Their theory is that after the October 7th attack, Israel should just dissolve its borders and let Hamas enter Israel unrestrained.
Borders. What do you think Israel should have done in response to October 7th?
Instead of indiscriminately bombing Gaza, I think the first thing to do in that situation would be to dismantle the government in the way that it existed, like get Netanyahu out of power.
Okay. So you're saying Israel in response... Hold on, dude. You're saying in response to this terrorist attack, Israel should have dismantled their own government.
First set of actions would be to democratically take Netanyahu out of power. Yes,
like to hold an election, I mean, they could get rid of Netanyahu. I mean, I'm not against that, but what would they do? Replace him with who? Replace the government with what? Because these fucking idiots think like Israeli leftists are also Nazis, white supremacists and shit, right? These guys think Yair Golan is a fucking fascist. Like, what are we talking about here? Oh God, I wish Ethan had asked that. Replace them with who? And then what? What should they do? A change of government, okay. But what should the new government do? What's the new government going to do that you actually propose?
Problem is that Israel's been at war with its neighbors for 70 plus years, and it makes a lot of sense that there be some distrust there. Is it really insane to think that Jews, as an ethnic minority in Israel, would not be safe? After all, Israel is a country of refugees. If the Jews didn't come from Europe after the Holocaust, they came from the surrounding Arab countries that expelled them in massive amounts following the 1948 war.
Yes, I'm sorry. What did he say here?
safe? After all, Israel is a country of refugees. If the Jews didn't come from Europe after the Holocaust, they came from the surrounding Arab countries that expelled them in massive amounts following the 1948 war.
It's a good take, Ethan. Where'd you get that from? Who's what? Everyone's saying that there's one of the Copes here is that people are saying Destiny wrote this script.
Fact, there was more Jews displaced than Palestinians during the Nakba. 1 million Jews. All of these surrounding Arab countries had vibrant Jewish communities in huge number, hundreds of thousands. Now, if you look at them, you're looking at close to...
I don't... The number I usually hear is 800,000. I think it becomes 1 million if you include people... Because it wasn't just after the 48 war. It was Jews who gradually would get pushed out of these Arab countries basically every time Israel got a W, right? So... I think it happened to some people in the 50s during the Suez Canal crisis. Definitely in the Six-Day War. The Lebanese Civil War was when a lot of Lebanese Jews ended up running away to northern Israel because a bunch of them were murdered. That's one of the murders of the Lebanese Civil War that people don't talk about. But I guess when you talk about 1 million Jews, like, I don't know, it's not really a competition, I don't think, because you could also argue the other way that with the Nakba, like, but around 15% of those people were directly expelled. Like, people came to their villages and said, fuck off, and they shot bullets over their heads until they fled. And some of them had to march, like, in the summer with no food and water, and some people died on the journey, right? Even though it's a pretty small area. Whereas the Jews who were kicked out of Arab countries were more like pushed out rather than directly expelled, generally. Like they were pushed out of fear or out of persecution, and some pogroms like that had happened over the preceding years and decades. Man, Iraq though, like fucking wasn't Baghdad like 25% Jewish before the 48 war? I think it was, wasn't it? It was like higher than Brooklyn in proportion.
If not literally 0 Jews left in these countries.
Just to give you an idea, here's a visual representation of the Jewish refugees after 1948. Morocco had 265,000 Jews. Now it has 2,000. Algeria had 140,000. Now it has about 50. Iraq had 150,000 Jews. Now 10. And I want to give a special shout out to my boy over in Afghanistan, one known Jew. We know him. We love him. He's the one Afghan Jew.
They were forced to leave their homes, their lives, their property, and migrate to the only place in the world that would accept them, which was Israel. The irony of this whole situation is that after the 1948 war, when Israel won the war to declare its independence, the Arab countries got super anti-Semitic against their own Jewish citizenry that had nothing to do with Israel. And as a result, they kicked them all out, 1 million plus of them, and forced them to go the one place they hated the most, Israel. And now those same people that forced them out of their homes are telling them they don't belong there. So if the Jews of Israel are surrounded by Islamic militant terrorist groups that have stated their goal is to annihilate Israel as a Jewish state, and considering the historical context of Jews being pogromed from Arab countries, is it really that crazy for them to not feel safe as an ethnic minority, even a little bit?
And that's pretty much the entirety of our disagreement. Whoa. Despite what you've read on TikTok and Twitter, I've donated $6,500 to a Palestinian charity after the war started.
Hey, Ethan Klein, thank you for the dono. Ethan Klein gave $6,500. My goat. Thank you, Ethan.
Condemned Netanyahu as a war criminal. They're led by Netanyahu, who should resign in disgrace and go to prison for being a war criminal. Called the West Bank settlements an abomination. Settlers in the West Bank are religious zealots. They're monsters. They're genocidal. I've even said the West Bank settlers are valid military targets. When you talk about like colonial settlers and stuff, like that's what's actually happening in the West Bank right now.
The fucking Marwan Barghouti position. The position of the leader of the Second Intifada. Huh. One of the leaders, which is
And these people are more or less valid military targets, in my opinion. My only crime is wanting a two-state solution instead of one, and thinking it's not okay to kill Israeli civilians. That's it. That's why they're calling me a Nazi Zionist. And because of Hasan and others spreading this malicious lie about my beliefs, I'm even getting
fucking Zionist bitch. Yes.
Harassed on the street.
So how come you don't like Palestine?
I like Palestine.
No, you don't.
Why do you say that?
Because, bro, you're. Wasn't she in the IDF?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
Mandatory service.
That's
She was born
sad.
there.
That's terrorism, bro.
She was born there.
That's sad. I feel bad for you guys. Ethan Klein, bro, you're ugly as fuck, bro. You're ugly as shit. You look like a rapist,
Bro,
man.
look in the fucking...
You look like a fucking rapist, Ethan. Feel bad for you guys. Ethan Klein, bro, you're ugly as fuck, bro. You're ugly as shit. You look like a
Wait, this guy has an account? Dating monkey.
Bro. I'm tired of all these coward Americans in the South trying to act like they're so tough.
I didn't notice Ela giving him the finger. That's really funny.
Oh, I'm American. Oh, you don't even run your own country. You don't run your own country, bro.
Ooh.
You don't run your own country.
Oh, no.
A foreign country named Israel runs your country.
Oh no, you mean there's this really unsettling intersection between Marxist-Leninists and Islamic fundamentalist anti-Semites? Oh no. Oh shit. And if you're not careful in how you craft your rhetoric in favor of the Palestinian cause, you're going to accidentally attract an audience full of fucking Jew haters. Oh no. Oh shit. As never. Oh no, he's getting right. Is this the guy meeting Hasan? Okay. He's getting the Rahim treatment. He's getting the Rahim treatment. Remember the guy? The dickhead who was having to go at me for my advocacy really early on in the war, and he was simping for other leftists. But I think it was after arguing with him for a couple of hours, Maruzzi is my mod, realized what was going on. She jumped in the call and asked him who runs the media, and he got really uncomfortable because he thinks Jews run the media. I thought he was like a leftist. I thought he was like just like a typical American Western. You would never be that on the nose, right? If you're a Western leftist, okay? They'll never be that on the nose. But they will overlap. They will create a very tight Venn diagram with people who do say that kind of thing. It's not good. Not good at all. Did you see Denims react to this? I did see something was trending. I just avoided watching it. I think I might have bookmarked it. Oh, it's that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm guessing she's going to say that's not actually a Hasan fan, right? And then it's okay.
That's sad. I feel bad for you guys. Ethan Klein, bro, you're ugly as fuck, bro. You're ugly as shit. You look like a rapist,
Bro,
man.
look in the fucking...
You look like a fucking rapist, Ethan. Feel bad for you.
Okay, can I just say really quickly, it's very obvious from the way that guy's talking, he's a Sneeko fan.
Oh,
like,
no.
I'm sorry, that language is not Hasan.
The thing is, though, is like, she's going to find a way, and I know I've noticed this is how React content works when you're partisan, when you're this partisan. She's going to find a way to dismiss it, right? She's going to find a way to dismiss it. There's always a way around it, and chat won't care, right? Because the principle is not we're correct and they're wrong, and here's why. The principle is our guy good, their guy bad.
On fan verbiage, like that's very sorry, that language is not Hasan fan verbiage, like that's very clear Sneeko lexicon. Can we just be honest for just 2 seconds? For just be real. Wallahi, that is not. No. Oh
my God, bro, I love you, Hasan. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
I love you, bro.
I'm so sweaty.
I love you, bro. I have to interview you. You're my hero, bro. I love you, bro. You're the coolest guy in the world, bro. Hold on, I think I look gay in that one. Hold on.
Can we just be honest for just 2 seconds? For just be.
I don't.
Yes, good clip, chimp. Very good. He yelled at him later. Yeah, they met once, which means he endorses everything he's ever done, ever. Okay. That's a really, you really killed him, Moot, dude. You really got him. You really.
Oh no! I just want to separate my head from my body. What the? Okay. All right. There's like this. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I think I understand it now. There is this kind of, there's this thing. which is like the postmodern debunking, right? Clip chimp. Wait, what? What was clip chimp there? That's just like a. Okay, that's just like, I guess you're just looking in the bag for, okay, bad faith, out of context, clip chimp, got him, yeah. It's like the postmodern React stream. There's this thing that postmodernism is very vague, but when people talk about postmodernism, one of the aspects that people speak about in sociology is this idea of like a collection of facades, that a lot of what we see and observe in society becomes kind of like imagery and aesthetics that is devoid of its deeper context and like understanding. So a really good example they would use to illustrate this thought is the example of like postmodern architecture. So when people talk about postmodernism in architecture, the number one go-to example is Las Vegas, right? Because what the fuck is Las Vegas, right? It is this fairly new place, relatively, built in the middle of nowhere, full of casinos and other such nonsense. And it's got like, you got like an Eiffel Tower and a Sphinx and a pyramid, right? It's got all these things, which are all just images, just like surface level replicas of the original thing, but completely deprived of the artistic and cultural movements that went behind their design, that's behind the socioeconomic conditions that were necessary to produce those things, like obviously the society that you needed to produce a pyramid, right? So it's like, it's just the image, right? And what people do with streaming, like React streaming, the substance of a React stream is to watch someone, to watch them say something wrong, to pause it, and to say, this is wrong and here's why. And then you might sneer at the end, right? And especially if you're a political partisan, you would do this, like, that would be the point, right? You hate watch someone, like a hate watch stream. So if I'm watching someone like Tim Pool, I will pause a lot because he speaks a lot of shit, right? Very easy. But there is a problem where there might be people who are watching that and they're like, I want to do that myself. You know, I like all that. Whoa, we're destroyed, sneering, let's go. But the problem is that there's a process behind that. Like, you have to read some background stuff and you have to know some background things to know how to catch someone out for being wrong. But if you're just watching the streamer and you're just wanting to emulate that image, then what you're going to do is you're going to copy the bits that are easy and not copy the bits that are difficult. So someone who might want to do a debunking, destroyed, sneering React stream, what often happens when I watch these React streams is they don't really do any correcting or any gotchas or any explanations or alternative reasonings. They just do the sneering, and it's very strange. So like a React stream that's like this, usually by orbiters. Like Demon Mama used to do this a lot, right? When Demon Mama was debating, she was really, really bad at finding gotchas. She was horrible at it, but she would always just kind of act like she'd got a gotcha. She would do the like she would always just do the performance of a gotcha, even though there wasn't actually any contradiction exposed. And it's kind of like reacting as well. There's this postmodern reaction stream that is just watching, and then you pause every 60 seconds, like or whenever you remember to, maybe after a sentence or a paragraph, and just go, yeah, 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 of course you would say that. This bad faith, clip chimped, out of yeah, yeah, kind of stupid, yeah. And then they just start playing again. And then 30 seconds or 60 seconds later, they'll remember to pause again, and maybe after doing some kind of like, then they'll pause again, and then they'll go, yeah, yeah, of course you, yeah, what a fucking idiot, yeah, racist, like, and now that you've had that communicated to you, I swear, watch some of these React streams and like you will not unsee it. It's a thing, okay? Good take, LonerBox. Bet you did think that was a good
Oh my God, bro! I love you, Hasan. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
I love you, bro.
I'm so sweaty.
I love you, bro. I have to interview you. You're my hero, bro. I love you, bro. You're the coolest guy in the world, bro. Hold on, I think I look gay in that one.
That's weird. Oh God. Why? Oh no, what's going on? Why? Yeah, I sometimes I want to stop to wonder why this Zog theorizing guy who's worried about looking gay is supporting me, a left-wing progressive. Why is that overlap happen? Why am I attracting a socially regressive anti-Semite? I'm not pro-Palestine because I hate Jews, me, Hasan, you know? I like Chomsky and Sam Cedar. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Top of the hour ad break. Let's go.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Hold on, I think I look gay in that one.
Okay.
It's the funny thing about me. I don't like terrorism, and I don't like terrorists. If they're Jews, Christians, Muslims, they're...
You mean you don't like brown people? Ethan's wrong there, guys. Chat. Ethan's really stupid.
Hey,
they're all bad.
Been absent for a while due to work. Long story short, the Bolivian brownout is what happens when a Caucasian person tries South American spices for the first time.
I don't know what that means, but thanks for 10 euros.
What is terrorism? It's intentionally targeting civilian population for political goals.
Okay.
I don't like it. None of it. And over time, I started to learn that my co-host, he really likes terrorists.
They do musicals. They're very musical people.
Are you being serious?
Dog, what do you... Look! You think I made this?
Isn't I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shit. This isn't a music video, Hasan.
Taking over these ships, they started targeting the ships.
People on this helicopter right now?
Yes.
Oh yeah, this is the one where he basically just lies about every single detail of this operation to make it sound based. And the guy's just like, what the fuck are you showing me, Hasan?
Streaming this?
Yeah. Yeah. They're flexing.
What? And they're coming in hot with guns.
Yeah, but you have to understand, this is a deterrent. We think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do. You should tell him that.
Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization.
Do we like them or no?
I don't have an issue with them, let's just say. But they are a terrorist organization. Like they're designated. They are designated by the American state as a terrorist organization.
I do not like them then.
Well,
he is regarded as a pretty brilliant person in terms of like everything that he's done.
Then I saw clips like this where Hasan is explaining how he's hiding his power level to funnel in normies into radicalization.
I think that in the short term, in order to combat against that, you have to advocate for a much lighter form of propaganda. You want America, in the way that I feel about it, and if you want America to get out of the way for places with more revolutionary potential to do what they would normally do, I think that, you know, one thing you have to do is advocate for a lighter form while simultaneously still doing agitated propaganda that goes beyond, you know.
It makes my blood run cold. It's It's funny that he says this though, and this is part of his job. Meanwhile, he is literally just like dancing along to Houthi soundtracks. It's like you're not even really that good at the thing that you say you are. But I mean, I guess it's worked, so people don't give a fuck. Again, the problem isn't really even Hasan. It's the audience. It's the fact that there's an audience for this shit.
Right. Social democratic idea.
I just wanted to like put emphasis on the exact point of the so-called radicalization funnel, where, for example, Hasan and JT catch them while they're young, as they say, and then they
Oh God! Why? Why would you say that? Catch them while they're young. Oh, for fuck! Like, yeah, catch them when they're young and suggestible and like a little bit fucking ignorant and trying to seduce them with like a very simple worldview. Catch them while they're... Oh, God. It's so creepy, man. Ah. It's like a fucking wrongin', man. Catch them while they're young. Ugh! Catch them while they're young. It's not okay, man. What the fuck? What's wrong with you? Catch them while they're young. Okay, groomer. What the fuck? Just like Stalin did. Oh no.
Start looking into this new idea, etc., and then move forwards through the funnel, get more and more informed, get more and more radicalized. You do your part in the funnel for the cause, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You're doing, in my modest opinion, a great thing for the cause.
Now listen to Hasan during our very first conversation lie to me about how he's a social democrat to hide his power level.
We should move towards a Sweden-style economy or a Norway-style economy, which would be a social democracy.
You have to advocate for.
And why would you defend China? If that's what you want. It's actually so disgusting. Okay.
Lighter form of propaganda
with robust social safety nets,
called radicalization funnel, catch them while they're young, as they say,
and protections for workers like higher unionization rates.
A lighter form, while simultaneously still doing agitated propaganda that goes beyond social democratic ideas.
Hell, he's proclaimed it loudly that he is a self-described propagandist.
I'm a propagandist.
Well, no.
For the record.
I'm not calling
I'm
you
a
that.
propagandist.
I'm just saying. I'm going to play you.
I'm saying I am.
Okay, well then I want to
I'm saying I am.
I just
before
want to
you
put
even play it.
A propagandist is much more than someone with a bias. It's someone who knowingly lies to further their political agenda.
And then I had a terrifying vision. Had I been duped? Was Hasan presenting a Trojan horse to my community, where he was just a left-leaning Democrat like myself, and as he said in the previous video, was funneling them into radicalization and turning them against me?
Liberals are some of the easiest to manipulate people on the fucking planet, dude.
I learned how much he hates liberals.
Dude, I hate liberals, dude. I hate them. I hate them so viciously.
Did he secretly despise me this whole time?
I'm sorry, dude. I hate liberals so much.
Did this man sit next to me for 2 years and pretend to be my friend?
Dude, liberals are a burden on this planet, dude.
Liberals are the most, scummy, vile, fucking idiots. Liberals are incredibly stupid. I hate these petulant...
Yeah, and you own all the fucking hedonistic bullshit lifestyle that you have to liberalism. Sorry, bub. Sorry. I'm sorry. There is no Chinese equivalent of Hasan Piker, right? There is no internal critic, guy who reaps all the benefits from this political system whilst shitting on it for a living. Mate, if you did this in China, there would be fucking drone struck in your shitty little mansion. You wouldn't even have a fucking chance. They would drone strike you just for the amount of fucking retarded shit that you come out with. You try to get away in your little fucking Porsche. You'd be in the camp. You'd be next to me. You'd be sharing a cell with me, okay?
Liberals, dumb fucking liberals.
What else is someone this sociopathic
learning about Han Chinese cuisine
capable of?
Liberals are some of the easiest to manipulate people on the fucking planet, dude.
Was I being manipulated this whole time?
That was my fear anyway. Regardless of his true beliefs, that broke my trust in him, and I pretty much ended the show immediately. And I felt guilty for my participation in mainstreaming Hasan. And for that, I apologize. I should have done more research, and I should have looked more deeply into who I was getting in bed with before they gave me chlamydia. Sorry, Hila. Over the past year since the show ended, I continue to watch Hasan platform, promote, and propagandize terrorist organizations. And every time it happened on Twitch, I would say, man, this time surely he went too far and someone's got to do something. But as the time went on, nothing happened, and his views got more and more radical and more disturbing. I feel it's my obligation, after mainstreaming someone like Hasan, to take this on. And so it was war. Nuclear war.
I stand before you following the footsteps of intellectual giants.
One thing we've been hearing for weeks.
But a simple man.
Now,
a simple man who understands right from wrong.
Yeah. you're an important, influential voice to a lot of people.
I'm an idiot. I'm a dumb bimbo. I don't know what I'm talking about.
And there are some things
I've gotten numb to criticism like this. It's not. As a matter of fact, I seek it out because I make content out of it. I think it's funny and fun.
And there are baby settlers.
Can you just shut the fuck up, bloodthirsty, violent It happens out of nowhere.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen.
Thank you to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video.
Oh my God!
ExpressVPN's an app that lets you change your location. Let's see what you can do with this power. Well, you can sign up for Netflix from a different country, but why would you want to do that? It was $14. It's now $3.66. Okay, but it even gets better than that. Netflix and all the streaming apps have different catalogs for each region. So let's say, for example, I want to watch some Dragon Ball Z Broly, but it's not available.
Just gonna conduct a social experiment, guys.
In the USA. Psych! All you need to do is switch locations to Canada, refresh, and boom! That easy and fast, Dragon Ball Z time. I use these websites to help find whatever shows I'm looking for. You can type in the show you want and it will show you which region to connect to. The amount of content I have access to is insane. It's super easy to use. It's an app you connect to, and then you pick which country you want to connect to. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Go to ExpressVPN.
Why didn't I skip the sponsorship? I don't know, it just feels mean.
VPN.com/H3HC for 4 free months, or scan the QR code or go to the link in the description. Thank you so much to ExpressVPN. And now back to our program. Meanwhile, at Twitch HQ, the marketing team is strategizing on a new advertising vertical.
My friends at Twitch headquarters, the executives, the influencers, Hasan, nice to see you, Frogan, front row. I am here to present to you an extraordinarily exciting opportunity.
Were you in subscriber mode to limit Hasan or Destiny comments? Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Yeah, that's all the time. Yeah. No, it's also just because I love money. Okay, every now and then I just need to remind fans that they actually owe me for the hard work that I do, okay? For the amount of shit that I go through to keep you idiots happy, okay? That's why.
We have not tapped this market yet. Now, don't panic, okay? Because you're going to want to panic when I tell you, but listen and learn. Who's billions of dollars eager to spend it? And what, people are too cowardly to reach out and take the money?
Not us.
Terrorism. Terrorism. Twitch is perfect. You could broadcast it straight into the veins of 18 to 35-year-old men. So here's what I'm suggesting. Hasan Piker. Yeah, we'll get drinks after the show. No, you. He's such a great guy. No, you. Give it up for Hasan Piker, everybody. Happy birthday, buddy. Aww. This dude can package anti-Semitism and anti-Americanism like nobody else. In fact, you guys got him on the front page.
Yeah.
And he's doing terrorism for free. Basically, gentlemen and gentle ladies, Frogan, you look good today, girl.
Based?
Girl, you look good.
Based?
Great job on that Arab tier list.
Based?
That was good. How much we get for that? Yo, you got 10 million from Qatar for that? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Twitch! Here's the thing. With help from people like Hasan, terrorism is like in the eyes of the beholder, right? They're not terrorists. They're... Go ahead. Go ahead.
Have you seen how Hasan responded to this? I've seen clips of it. I haven't seen the whole thing. We'll do that after, though. Don't worry. Well, you know, donor generosity pending, obviously. But yeah, potentially. Yeah, potentially. Hey, we hit the goal. 20 out of 20 wankers. Super chats. Oh, shit. Melty Blend and George Costanza. Thanks for the tier 1 subs. Dwayne, thanks for the $5. Noob Creeper, thanks for the tier 1 sub, and Barbas Dantiok. Dilute Mule, thanks for $10. Watch Hasan's response to the content nuke. Yeah, I know, obviously, don't worry. Dwayne, thanks for the $10. Virgil GC, Jackie Kuehl, and Afterpie, thanks for tier 1 subs. Dwayne, thanks for $5. I thought it was Didgerino, don't know what that means, thanks. Person with a Cyrillic spelled name, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Shin Ramen, Prince Hermit, and Kazanator, thanks for the tier 2 subs. Very generous of you. Wow. 3DS2's Max, thanks for the $2. Not Drone Loner JDam. Oh yeah, obviously. Truman, thanks for the 5 Australian. Hasan is so shameless, and so is his audience. They'll never be asked to answer for this shit. Is what it is. Makes them... I don't know what to say. It's just content, you know? Awaz, thanks for the $5. Take my money. Oh, I'm taking a lot of it, apparently. Wow. The Surfs clip about me. Okay.
Did you see the LonerBox now wants to distance?
I've seen this one already. Like, I did DM him about this. He didn't answer, so you'll probably guess why. Tell us about it. It's been a while since I've seen Lance, and I wonder, you know, I'm always curious. I'm always curious about these kind of like people who have been like a little bit lolcowish in the past, you know, like how Lance definitely had this streak of debating Nazis and losing badly. So I just wonder, but you know, people are always capable of personal growth, right? Like this is your job. There's always room for personal development. I just want to see if there's any examples of it.
A lot of guys like Destiny. There's a documentary out on Omaha. It's worth a look. Called Out. Oh, Out of Omaha. All right, I will add that to the list. Did you see that LonerBox now wants to distance himself from Destiny? I mean, he should, and like I said, he should also, instead of, you know, you should be coming forward with any information you have about this. Like, these are very serious sex crimes, and that anything you know from someone who worked in proximity to him, like, if you want a pathway forward for a lot of folk right now, I mean, I
Okay, Your Honor. Yeah, maybe I should do that. You know, I'll tell you guys everything. I'll tell you guys everything I know. I'll tell you guys everything I know that no fucking lawyer would ever want you saying fucking what the how stupid, like, fuck off. What new information do you think I have that's going to contribute to this public fucking... Destiny wasn't sexting me, okay? He wasn't trying to impress me with anyone else's fucking videos, okay? What do you think I saw in the fucking Israeli apartheid harem? What do you think what? Okay. What do you think was happening in those Juminati fucking basement sessions in Tel Aviv? Come on.
See, the only one that is viable is coming forward to help the victims. And also, I mean, in the case of LonerBox, you need to have a long, serious look about all the fucking apologia you've been doing alongside Destiny for all the fucking horrifying crimes and atrocities that Israel has been committing. Like, every single other person is going to have to reckon with this in their own way, including myself. I say that full well knowing that, like, I have my own inner guilt about, like, did I protest enough? Did I march enough? Did I, like, write enough to my fucking members of parliament? Did I do this? Did I send in my emails? But that's such a far cry from people, I think, who are going to have to reckon with. Did you fully promote, propaganda for a country that was committing a genocide actively? Did you travel there? Were you on a paid trip there to listen to the propaganda of the very country that is committing these war crimes?
No, I wasn't. No. Was I paid to go there to do propaganda for the Israeli state? No, I wasn't. And you can tell, it's kind of obvious that it wasn't a paid trip or a propaganda trip just by looking at it. Like, what? And again, I did show this to Lance. I showed him some clips. I showed him some clips of, like, not even clips, just like segments of us having been taken by a local through the West Bank and meeting locals there, of going to the anti-war protests and talking to those people, meeting Mustafa Barghouti, who the Israeli government fucking hates, right? Because he's getting quite popular, and he also has semi-amicable relations with Hamas, like he's liaised with them before. Why the fuck would the Israeli government... Have you seen what Israeli government propaganda is like? Compared to... Israeli government propagandists don't take you to meet Palestinian locals in the West Bank who want Israel fucking destroyed, right? They don't take you to meet PLO leaders, okay? It's not really what they do. It's interesting though that you think about Lance and how he always had this reputation for being someone who just read a headline and then just didn't understand the substance of the article and just went with that. But I guess it's still like nothing's changed, right? He's just It's not even a headline though. It's just like he just believes this because he heard it from someone else. That's it. Because other people say it. Oh yeah, getting harassed by a fucking deranged criminal settler in the West Bank? Jesus. Aberdeen's own Julius Stryker. Okay.
Atrocities. Were you a part of that? Well, then, yeah, if you want to make right, then there is so much that you have to undo. So much, you know? Like, Jesus Christ.
Yep, just give me one specific valid criticism, you know? We can have a fucking atonement session together. We can sit in the confession booth together. Repent! Okay.
He knows. Freedom fighters, guys.
Still waiting for the time when I've ever fucking simped uncritically for a group that targets civilians intentionally. Still waiting for my moment of doing that. Still waiting.
Guys, we are fighting for freedom. What about the rapes and the murders? Don't mention that. What's wrong with you? And another one. The resistance isn't
not
perfect. Right? You gotta crack some eggs, man. Hasan, you know socialism didn't buy you that car.
If I knew that this is what communism would be in 2024, I wouldn't have bothered with this shit. Really. A Porsche is the symbol of the capitalist excess.
Uh-oh.
What the fuck is he thinking? You guys actually believe this idiot is a socialist? Forget a religion. Hasan is the opiate of the masses. Straight to the gulag for anyone subbed to this idiot.
Or that designer dog.
This breed's stunning fluffy coat comes with a price. Chow Chows shed
fuck
all
no.
year.
Very cute, by the way. But those are expensive. The point is, we have the biggest political streamer on our platform that is influencing media and influencing young kids everywhere. If we can normalize terrorism, if we could rebrand it, then fuck the US Navy. You know how much those guys don't pay shit. You see the Army ads on Twitch? The Army is fucking broke, dude. I'll tell you who loves America more than the Army. Qatar. Well, I don't know if love's the right word, but they're paying more. Good CPMs coming out of Qatar. But you kids love anime, right? Can't get enough of it. Man, look at what we've already done with Hasan. You're the fucking man, dude. Happy birthday again, man. No, we got a big party for you after. No, don't do it. Let's wait, because we got a big party and a cake and everything for you after in the back. The prostitutes, too. Don't tell anyone. That's part of the past. Look what we've done already. This Houthi pirate. I mean, who are you kidding? This guy's a fucking terrorist. He literally tweeting out he wants to kill Jews and put their heads on pikes. And somehow, not somehow, because of his genius, we have rebranded the Houthi fucking pirates, the Houthi terrorist organization. Yeah, the Islamic fundamentalists. Death to America, curse upon the Jews. That's right. That's the Jolly Roger of this man here. None other than Monkey D. Luffy. So let's get out there, guys. And let's make 2025 our biggest year, guys. Come on, guys. The resistance isn't perfect. The resistance isn't perfect. Yeah, let's get them. If you want to know where on the political spectrum Hasan sits, take a look at a recent media analysis by Ad Fonte, which rated Hasan as the most extreme left-wing, untrustworthy media source on the internet.
I always wonder how people gather this kind of data. Like, do they just watch a few segments and apply an average to the whole thing? Or I don't know. I don't know how, or how do you decide, how do you even do the fact checking? It's just, I don't know. I feel like these things are probably a bit cringe. I don't know how much AI vibes. I mean, he does do a lot of disinformation, but I don't know if it's like InfoWars level or whatever the fuck. Yeah.
And to give you an idea, he is opposite of InfoWars. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Hasan loves all terrorists, but what I will say is that there isn't many he don't like. Let's start with our good friend Luffy here and his organization, the Houthis. And yes, this is what it looks like. They are hiling Hitler. The Houthis are an Islamic military group. They're known for their cruel measures, forcibly recruiting child soldiers, shelling civilian areas and blocking food from entering already famine-ruined parts of Yemen. They've also set up landmines in agricultural spots, making the fields virtually worthless. Women have virtually no rights, and homosexuality, of course, is punishable by death. That lines up with leftist values. Just how little rights do women in the Houthis' Yemen have? Well, according to this, there's been 1,181 violations committed by Houthi rebels against women, including torture, rape, and murder. So, not great. The Houthis have a very wholesome flag, as you can see here. It says, translated, Allah Akbar, death to America, death to Israel, and a curse upon the Jews. And that's all of them, not just the ones in Israel. And of course, victory to Islam. I get amused when these terrorists are like, we hate Jews. We want to kill Jews. And then people like
Hasan didn't say no resistance is perfect during the Russia invasion. Yeah, he had a lot of concern. He had so much concern, sorry. He had so much concern over the Azov battalion, even though they weren't even like the representative group. But they like Hamas are the leaders of the resistance in Gaza. Like they are the number one. They're the government, right? The Azov battalion was like between 1,000 and 2,000 people in an army of 200K. And not even everyone in the Azov battalion was a Nazi. Like their Nazi roots were largely dealt with in 2014, 15, 16.
Son are like, you're fucking racist for saying that they just want to kill Jews and that they're terrorists, man.
What you meant to say is Hezbollah is Muslim.
Yeah.
You're not thinking deep enough about this topic.
My criticisms of the Houthis' slogan do not factor in to what they are doing. Of course, it is anti-Semitic, but contextualizing it matters. Yeah, it's really interesting because like that is such Western-focused propaganda. Like for a Palestinian to arrive at anti-Semitic opinions, okay, they don't need to read Mein Kampf.
Oh, I almost forgot the most fun one. They brought back slavery.
We think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do.
That lines up with leftist values. All right, so these guys are clearly the bad guys.
Yeah,
so
but the Houthis are not Palestinian though, right? But he would say that the Houthis can't help but bear and witness the suffering of their Arab brothers. Meanwhile, they support Assad, right? They're part of the axis of resistance, which supports Assad. Like that's kind of the conundrum that you end up in.
My question is, how does Hasan cover such a genocidal, violent, misogynistic, homophobic, terroristic organization?
Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical?
Sure.
Oh, these were the people that the Saudis were killing, by the way. Just so you know, these fucking musically gifted individuals.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, I need the money, guys.
I'm gonna grab my food.
I'm so confused. What is
اسأل أصحاب الفخامة والمعالي واسألوا عن الحشد العسكري يوم سيطرنا.
Denims thought the Houthis and Hezbollah were Palestinians. I don't believe you. Sorry. Clip or it didn't happen.
على الخوبة بآلي ما نبالي بالهمر والمدفعية.
That's right, my friend. Hasan just played straight up terrorist propaganda without even being there to analyze it. Surely this must be against terms of service. Twitch does not allow content that depicts, glorifies, encourages, or supports terrorism or violent extremist actors. For example, displaying or linking terrorist or extremist propaganda even for the purpose of denouncing such content. Denouncing? Okay, but what's the rule for endorsing it? Is that okay? The answer is yes, as Hasan was never punished for this blatant violation of Twitch community guidelines. Got it. So denouncing terrorism is bad. Don't do that. Endorsing terrorism is good. Okay, got it, Twitch.
What is going on? Can you explain this? This is a 3-minute video of... What do you mean a music video? When you said music video, I'm expecting like bad example, Chris Brown dancing, you know?
No. They do like they do musicals. They're very musical people.
Are you being serious?
Dog, what do you look? You think I made this?
This isn't music. I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shoot. This isn't a music video, Hasan.
No, it is. They do musicals about like their fucking like their
their actions all the time.
Hold on, guys, hold on. I've got this. Instead of terrorist propaganda, let's call it musicals.
They do musicals.
Instead of violent jihadists, let's call them musically talented people.
They're very musical people.
Are you being serious?
Guys, let's just use our brains. Fiddler on the Roof, Wicked, Alexander Hamilton, man. There's no reason we can't put these Houthis on Broadway.
Well, they go, listen, you want to fucking bring a ship through here? We're going to take it. So that's exactly what the Houthis start doing. They start fucking sending in helicopters onto fucking ships. Bro, they fucking...
It does really give me a sense of hope that this guy is just sitting there with someone who he's probably primed to think that Hasan knows what he's talking about, right? And is politically sound, because I think this guy's like a normie streamer, right? So it is good that he's listening to this and just being like, wait, what? Wait, they're what? They're a music... Resist. Okay, wait. What? Sorry. So they're doing what to civilian people on boats? Wait. So yeah, it is good that the like normal, well-adjusted people are just not really taken by this. I guess the problem for Hasan is that he didn't catch this dude when he was young, right? Because this guy is at least, 23, So the problem is that Hasan didn't catch him when he was young. That's the problem. Hasan's sitting there, if only I had got this guy when he was a miserable, lonely 16-year-old who has nothing else to do but sit on fucking Twitch and desperately search for the first political identity they can find. Oh, look, there's a good-looking himbo guy who seems really popular. Okay, yeah, and he's also got a very simple worldview that divides everything into a slightly altered version of good and evil, and gives me a sense of moral superiority, and means that I can speak and act in a way that is just constantly morally self-aggrandizing to myself, but I also don't really ever have to advocate and behave in a way that might ever produce viable results for society. Yeah, that's based. Yeah. So that's probably what Hasan's thinking right now. He's thinking like, oh shit, I could have got that.
Look at this. They got the Palestinian flag that they painted under the helicopter with the Yemen flag. They fucking overtake. They start overtaking the ships. And they're like, guess what, dog? No more trade to Israel. If you are sending ships into Israel, if you are owned by an Israeli subsidiary, if you're owned by an Israeli corporation, we're going to take over your ship. You cannot fucking use this trade route anymore. Guess what, bitch? It's our fucking territorial boundary, and we're going to enforce this until...
It's not your territorial boundary. Even if... Oh, God, whatever. It's just like every sentence he's saying is wrong. He's just beefing up the Houthis for free.
You stop doing genocide in Gaza.
So let's review his claims. His first claim is that the boat is headed for Israel. It's not. It's going from Turkey to India.
Yep.
Next claim is that it's owned by an Israeli company.
It's not.
It's not. It's being chartered by a Japanese company, and the boat's owners are registered in the Isle of Man. I'd like to remind everybody that the crew that's kidnapped in this video has been missing for over a year now with zero updates on their health.
Wait! Breaking news. They were released just over a week ago. The Houthis released crew of seized cargo ship Galaxy Leader. They released them. And they put them all in keffiyehs. No, actually, they befriended them with their mutual hatred of America and their mutual love of Islamic fundamentalism and anti-Semitism and Marxist-Leninism, because all these guys actually like those things. These Filipino sailors. Can't wait to see the new Hasan segment. What's that? Is Hasan going to react to this and be like, little do you know that they actually got released? What? They were only in captivity for 14 months away from their friends and family in a different fucking country. God knows what they had to live through or, like, in that time.
Whereabouts, or anything. That lines up with leftist values. Hasan's third claim is that this attack happened in their territorial waters, which is also a lie. It happened in international waters.
Yeah.
Hasan is lying for...
Okay, yeah, Ethan, okay, yeah. He's got the points. Shit.
The Houthis like he's being paid. And honestly, at this point,
Is he?
I'm a propagandist.
Well, no.
For the record.
I'm not calling
I'm a
you that. I'm just
propagandist.
This is like a hostile. They're streaming this.
Yeah, yeah, they're flexing.
What? And they're coming in hot with guns.
Yeah, but you have to understand, this is a deterrence. Israeli society is going to start getting upset. They're going to be like, I can't get my treats. I can't get my Amazon Prime deliveries. What the fuck is going on? I hate this. Israel sucks. I'm leaving Israel. That's the goal.
I find it disturbing that Hasan thinks that a slowdown of
I thought you're a fucking one-state solution guy. Why do you want the Israelis to leave? What's wrong with you? Okay. So he's telling, he basically, he wants Israelis like Arabs and Jews to share the country together, but he also supports indiscriminate attacks on Israeli civilians and Israeli civilian life and the Israeli economy in a way that would actually get them all to leave. And he thinks it's actually the goal for the Israeli Jews to leave. I don't know where they would go exactly, like given that most of them have roots in countries that would probably not be very nice to them if they went back to them, like Iraq, Libya, Syria, Afghanistan, Lebanon, Yemen. You really, where do they go? What if, you really, all the Yemeni Jews, are they going to go to fucking Yemen? Is that, think the Houthis would take them back? Bro!
imports is going to cause
gold.
I find it
That's
disturbing that Hasan thinks that a slowdown of imports is going to cause Jews to flee Israel. 80% of Israelis were born there and do not have citizenship anywhere else.
Whoa.
So where do you want them to go, Hasan? Back to Poland or back to the Arab countries they were forced out of?
Israel sucks. I'm leaving Israel. That's the goal.
By telling the Jews of Israel to go back where they came from, Hasan attempts to deny Jewish heritage.
Yeah. You know what's so sad about it is that like this is the strategy that they've tried for like over 70 years. And it's never worked. It's never going to work because the circumstances that led to most Israeli Jews being in that country do not just put them in a position where they can be chased out. They'll tell you this, right? Was it Golda Meir? I don't know how you say that name. Someone's like, oh yeah, they hate you, like they want to kill you, and it's like it's the Golda Meir line. We have one secret weapon. We have nowhere else to go. That's the Israeli secret weapon. Doesn't mean everything they do is justified. Actually means quite a lot of what they do is horrible. But the solution to that is not to get them to leave. It never is. Never going to work. Sorry.
In the Middle East. It characterizes them not as indigenous, but as white colonizers. This is despite the fact that 60% of Jews in Israel are actually native to the Middle East.
This is wild.
So these guys did all of this, right? They did all of this.
Is that their helicopter?
Yeah.
That looks like a legit helicopter.
It is a legit helicopter.
This is wild.
So they take it over, and they tell the people in the ship, it's usually like mostly Filipino people, Filipino crews.
Oh.
And they're like, all right, well, we got no problems with you, but you're coming with us. We're taking over the ship.
What an incredible way to
Fuck, I wish I had the proper video now. Why is he doing that? Why is he saying we've got no problems with you? Why is he editorializing? Is that what he said in Arabic? Sorry, we have Arabic speakers here. Did he say we've got no problems with you?
Mostly Filipino people, Filipino crews.
Oh.
And they're like, all right, well, we got no problems with you.
Is that what that means? We've got no problems with you. Listen, hey, we love you, okay? Listen, we're just like you. We also hate America and the Jews. I mean Zionists, and also have a very strange, uneasy friendship with Marxist-Leninists. We got no problems with you. Why? I'm pretty sure in this moment when he says this, the guy is like pointing a gun at the guy's fucking face, or his torso.
You're coming with us. We're taking over the ship.
What an incredible way to characterize having a gun in your face. Hasan is asking us not to believe our own eyes as we watch terrorists hostilely kidnap
They're not speaking Arabic. Yeah, okay, so he's not saying anything along the lines of, we've got no problems with you.
Crew.
We got no problems with you, but you're coming with us. We're taking over the ship.
And once again, the crew is still MIA for over a year.
prisoners to a terrorist organization. But don't worry, guys. Hasan says they have no problem with them.
They're like, all right, well, you know, we got no problems with you, you know, but you're coming with us.
This video is so bad faith, man. The Al Jazeera source he showed for slavery in Yemen was not about the Houthi, but the Saudi-backed Yemeni government. Do you didn't? Sorry, maybe he did that. And again, I don't like people using headlines to back up their arguments because, yeah, reading the article is generally better. Do you deny that the Houthis engage in slavery, though? Is that if that's like if these are your best examples, you're fucked. You're so fucked. You're so fucked.
3-minute video of what do you mean a music video? When you said music video, I'm expecting like, are you being serious? I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shit. This isn't a music video, Hasan.
The editing here is pretty good.
I bet Hasan's friend really appreciated being fed terrorist propaganda on camera. Let's see what he had to say.
Because hell, even a couple days.
The other headline he used was a Saudi-owned newspaper which evidence for slavery by the Houthis was an unnamed source. So you are denying that the Houthis have engaged in slavery. Do you think Ethiopian women are reliable sources? I think in their case it was sex trafficking. Or is your argument that it's true that they do it, but just that his sourcing was bad? I could probably accept that. But it sounds like you would only bring that up because you don't actually think that Houthis engage in slavery. That's probably why you said that. If I'm just guessing by your tone. Yeah, they might. Oh yeah, so now you just think it's like a no, it's not a maybe, unless you think like all these witnesses and people who have suffered it are lying. It's not controversial that the Houthis have engaged in slavery. That's not a controversial fact. That's not a maybe, you fucking idiot. It's not a maybe. Might. Yeah, a lot of things might be, okay? Your neighbor might be a pedo. Like, what?
Days ago, I was hanging out with my buddy Hasan, and this guy unironically put a terrorist propaganda music video on and then left the room.
Left the room?
Yeah, and I was just like, and the thing is, like, in hindsight, it's hilarious, you know? But at the same time, I'm like, what is going on here? This is wild to me. Yeah. But, like, I just, and like, he was like, yo, they're such great dancers. Look how good.
My God.
I was like, okay. Wait, is that how it works? If you watch, like, a politics TikTok, you get recommended Hasan right after? Is that how it works? Bro, he's all over this page. That's crazy.
That is crazy, chat.
Click it. Dude, Hasan be saying some wild stuff, man. So I don't know if we can.
Oh, no.
Here's another incident of Hasan enjoying some Houthi propaganda.
How can they not agree with the Houthis when this is the kind of music video that they're coming out with? They got a beautiful voice too. Yeah, Israel been real quiet since this drop, dude. The fucking mix.
Funny, I thought the same. I thought the same when I was listening to the ISIS nasheeds. Yeah, you know, Al Kovu Sarim or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, that one that's in all the memes. Al Kovu Kodlu Savarim. Yeah, how could you not, eh? How can you not enjoy this beheading video when this shit's popping the fuck off? Anyway.
Stay.
Oh, Hasan, my sweet, naive friend. You say that Jews don't sing and dance like that? Then what the fuck do you call this? That's right, bitch. What the fuck you stepping on our shit?
Yeah, Israel been real quiet since this drop, dude. The fucking mixtape.
Bro, those Arab villagers, those Arab peasants who did nothing wrong, been real quiet since we heard this one. Oh yeah, how could you not? Whoa, yeah. True, guys. Those defenseless Arab farmers, they ain't got shit. Why would you talk like that? It's so gross. Okay.
Got a beautiful voice too. Israel been real quiet since this dropped, dude. Israel been real quiet since this dropped, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got it.
Houthis been real quiet since this dropped, dude.
Now we come to our sweet, beautiful, cute little TikTok twink. This hairless young man is the fantasy of every tween and twix and all the boys and girls on TikTok. He's cute. He's got a mustache. He's a freedom fighter. Beautiful eyes. They call him Tim Houthi Chalamet because he's a Houthi.
Bro, are we about to have a Houthi rebel on stream? Yes, brother. What do you mean?
Chud Logic's twink bastard son.
Now. Keep working hard, smile.
Thanks for the $10. Who would ever say that about a person?
Excuse me. Of course I'm about to have a... I'm a journalist, okay? This is journalism. It's so weird. It's so weird. Motherfuckers want journalism, and when I'm trying to do journalism, they go, why are you doing that? Bro, you are going to get banned? I think it would be ridiculous to do that.
Hasan now has the opportunity to express his journalistic chops, to get his boots on the ground and show us just how good of a reporter he can be.
I'm doing journalism, chat. Does he know what One Piece is?
He's been watching it since he was a kid.
No way!
Yeah.
That's sick. Yes. Yes. We love you too, man. Big time. Yeah.
I love you. I love you so much.
We're big fans of the Yemeni music videos. You can tell them that. I want to ask him about the knife. The knives are sick. What's up with the knives? You know, the curved knives.
If one of those knives comes out in front of you, it's not going back until it has blood on it.
Oh, okay. My bad. Well, I mean, I think it's cool, though. That's so crazy. So they're just chilling with the captains? Like, I don't understand.
The crews on these ships, and they like win them over with their charm, and they make them hate America and the U.S. government.
That's so funny. I'm a journalist, okay? This is journalism. It's so weird. It's so weird. Motherfuckers want journalism, and when I'm trying to do journalism, they go, why are you doing that? What do you mean? I'm just chilling. We're just having we're just vibing. Yeah, we're just vibing. We're vibing big time.
Hasan uncritically interviewed this kid for about an hour. It was the most brazen display of disgusting terrorist propaganda that I have maybe ever seen in Western media.
What has happened to, does he know what has happened to any of the crews? Like, I heard they...
Hasan almost asked a good question, but it's actually leading to the most obscene part of this interview.
He's saying he hasn't spent much time with Chinese people, but one of the captain was Chinese, and he did caught with them, and he danced some music with them, and he was vibing. So he likes him, yeah.
So, what, I mean, what... That's so crazy.
So true. People were saying that this is referring to a different crew because they said Chinese, not Filipino or whatever. You know that, like, in the Arab world, it's not unusual to call like everyone who's from Southeast Asia Chinese. I know this because I went to Palestine with a fucking Korean dude, and everyone kept calling him China. Like they were shouting China at him. Okay.
So they're just chilling with the captains? Like, I don't understand.
Ask yourself, why is he able to hang out with the captain and the crew of this pirated ship? Why would he even have access to that? Hasan knows why. Of course, he is a Houthi terrorist. Instead of challenging him and demanding more details about these kidnapped and missing people, he just runs defense for this guy, acting like he doesn't know why that would even happen.
He's saying that they win over the crews on these ships, and they like win them over with their charm, and they make them hate America and the U.S. government.
Yes.
That's so funny.
It is super funny, the idea of kidnapped crew members who are being forced, probably at gunpoint, to do some death to Americas and maybe some curse upon the Jews. And frankly, the callous disregard for the well-being of the literal hostages.
Looks like a lot of fun, 14 months hanging around with these guys. And this is them when they've put you in a position where you're like good enough for a photograph, right? Sure, they had a great time.
Is shocking even for somebody that loves terrorists.
That's so funny. Is there a KFC there? They're everywhere. I don't think there's a KFC in Yemen, dog.
He says they have two.
Oh, they do have KFC in Yemen? That's crazy. Okay, that's sick.
Is there a KFC in Yemen? No way, dude! Holy fuck! There's a KFC in Yemen! He's just like us!
A few years ago, right after fleeing Hasan's community, glad I decided to stay around. Thanks, man.
Whoa, thanks for $10, Waves. What can I say? I caught you when you were young. I can't get over that comment. It's like it's rent-free in my fucking brain. Ugh. That was a good pause, wasn't it? You can meme that pause.
Does he know what One Piece is?
What if he's been watching it since he was a kid.
No way!
Yeah.
That's sick. Yes. That's fire. That's so fire. Oh my God. We think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do. You should tell him that.
You guys all remember Luffy's flag, right? Now, I'm only halfway through that show, so maybe I just haven't come to it yet. But I do not remember Luffy's flag looking like this.
Ooh.
Predictably, there was some blowback after this
ISIS.
interview, and Hasan went immediately into damage control to rewrite history.
He said that he was just simply a Yemeni person and not a Houthi. Yeah, I mean, we don't even know.
I don't think he ever actually said I'm not a Houthi, by the way. I think he just said that I'm just a Yemeni teenager.
If he's a Houthi or not. He's a teenager in Yemen. The dude is neither a Houthi, nor a terrorist, nor a pirate, is not a Houthi rebel.
And the problem here is, like, I think he had a conversation. I feel like he had a conversation with someone at Twitch, and it was like, okay, fuck, I need to... Okay, I know I introduced him as a Houthi. I know I never really got a categorically clear answer about whether or not he was a Houthi. He kind of dodged it, actually. I know he drops a lot of fucking Easter eggs around the internet to imply that very strongly that he's a Houthi. So, listen, I'm Hasan Piker. Okay, excuse me. Oh, light bulb. I'm Hasan Piker. I can just tell these. I caught them when they were young. I can just tell them he's not a Houthi. No, they're gonna give a fuck. They don't have object permanence. My audience caught them when they were young.
Fucking call him a Houthi either. You want to know why?
Because them before they have a big enough vocabulary to start going watching fucking Yugopnik and Hakim talking about the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact.
He's not one. He's not a Houthi himself. He's not a pirate, but I don't think he's not a pirate. He has reiterated the position that he is not a Houthi. Trust me, bro, I'm not Houthi. Be for real. You sucked him off the entire stream. Not even a Houthi militant or anything like that. When I interviewed the dude who they still to this day call a Houthi terrorist. Tim Houthi's not even a fucking Houthi. I thought he wasn't a Houthi because he's not. No, he was just some fucking Yemeni TikToker. Random fucking Yemeni teenager. Didn't you brand it as him being a Houthi interview though? Bro, are we about to have a Houthi rebel on stream? Yes, brother. What do you mean?
All right, let's just take Hasan's word for it and assume, okay, this kid is not a Houthi rebel. He's just some ordinary Yemen teenager. Let's go ahead and take a look at his social media and see if that lines up. All right, let's see here. Tel Aviv will burn in the coming hours. Ready for sacrifice and eager for martyrdom. Maybe he's talking about football? Here he is singing a song with the words, "Do you threaten us with what we are waiting for, son of a Jew?" The meaning of Houthi is a title, and it's not something to fear, but for the Jews. They are very afraid of this title. The execution we will carry out on all Zionists, with the lovely depiction of a man impaled through his asshole and out of his mouth with a pike, or how Hasan likes to say it, a pike for a cut. Okay, why would he retweet this article called "Houthis Use Social Media to Boost Global Prominence and Support"? Israel falls. Wait for the new operation in Tel Aviv. The Jaffa drone, which no Israeli defense can stop. The ships we bombed and sank. I know the red arrow is supposed to be a cool military Hamas thing.
Oh, I love it. He's got the little propaganda thing. for their technology.
The ships we bombed and sank. I know the Red Arrow's supposed to be a cool military Hamas thing. This is a butt plug. Just saying. To every Zionist, I will put...
The Shiites use the black standard or modern jihadist flags. I think the black flag, I've only ever seen it used by Sunni groups. It's not just ISIS, though. There are quite a few that use it.
Thank you for keeping the focus consistent and continuing to make this content. You've been a favorite streamer for almost a year for us and we appreciate you. Great to see you back after a deserved break.
Thanks for the $20, Savannah. I really appreciate that. Oh, just so you guys know, this is not break over, okay? I'm probably not going to be regular streaming again for a little longer. This is just, I just want to rear my head every now and then because there's like some stuff that's just, I really like talking about, like this. And also because I would kind of like to remind you guys that I'm not dead. And also, I actually like streaming, you know? I still need time away. We're not back to your regular screenings. Your regular schedule, but don't worry, okay? I'm just saying, it's like this is probably like quite easily the most stressful one of the most stressful periods of my life right now. So, and if you want me to make sense of that for you, okay, I'll say one thing. Okay, I'll say one thing. It's like the kind of imagine you're in a period where the least stressful thing that's happening to you is getting your fucking sexting leaked. Okay, that's kind of where we are right now, okay? But it's okay. It's all good.
This into your stomach. And let me state the obvious. Jew and Zionist is clearly interchangeable to this guy. Okay, but hating Jews doesn't make you a Houthi. Are you a soldier? Yes. That seems pretty definitive. You know what makes you a Houthi? Being a Houthi. At least one of the two of them is being honest about it.
Yes. Deadpan. Let's go.
A Houthi? Being a Houthi. At least one of the two of them is being honest about it.
No way!
Yeah.
That's sick. Yes. Yes. That's fire. And that's so fire. Oh my god. We think the Houthis is doing what Luffy would do. They're tweeting an image of a Jewish person on a pike. I don't understand why this problem can't be approached with nuance. Because he is a teenager in Yemen, dude.
Talk about the bigotry of low expectations. He's a kid in Yemen, dude. What do you expect? Of course he's going to want to put a pike through a Jew's...
Even if this guy was in such a situation that he couldn't help but like fucking want to curse upon the Jews and impale them all on spikes. Sorry, the Zionists. Sorry, most Jews on spikes. I'm like... Then why would you glaze him? Why would you do that? Even if his position is purely born of circumstance, because you know, as someone in Yemen, you know, your biggest problem is the fucking Jews. What? The fact that you've got like Saudi bombing the shit out of them and blockading them and causing a famine and shit, and you're like, okay, who do we hate? America? Yeah, definitely America. We hate Israel, and who else? Well, there are Saudis bombing the fuck out of us. Who do we curse? Oh, Jews. Yeah, Jews.
The asshole and through his mouth. That's just what kids in Yemen are like, man.
And also, what do you mean? It's just a person on a pike. There's no Jewish person on a pike on that photo, unless I saw something different.
Hasan claims this isn't even a Jewish person on the pike. How exactly is a naked, piked person supposed to look like a Jew for you, Hasan? You know what? You're right. Let me make it a little clearer for you. First, he needs a bigger nose, right, Hasan? Of course, he needs a yarmulke, the curly things. Oh, look, Hasan, he dropped his dreidel. He must be Jewish for sure. Or, you know, you could just read what he wrote, you dumbass, liar, terrorist-loving, propagandist piece of shit.
Whoa! This is why this entire conversation is...
Epic Voshran from Ethan Klein.
It's fucking idiotic. It's not a Jewish person. He said, this is, I think if we're... Why am I held accountable for some random fucking 19-year-old in Yemen's tweets? What is happening? How many steps removed are we from the...
We're no steps removed. You glazed the fuck out of him. You made him a thing. Yeah, you made him you signal boosted him. Yeah, you're held accountable for yourself and the way you treated him. You gave him a puff piece. And you continue to literally alter fucking facts about the Houthis' actions to defend this guy. Why am I held accountable for this guy that I'm signal boosting and glazing and covering for and lying about reality to defend? Why would he ever hold me accountable for this guy? Like, how many steps? Fuck off. I love it that he's like trying to fumble over something and he just gets like fucking man baby.
This fucking idiotic.
Oh, look, Hasan, he dropped his dreidel. He must be Jewish for sure. Or, you know, you could just read what he wrote, you dumbass, liar, terrorist-loving, propagandist piece of shit.
This is why this entire conversation is fucking idiotic. It's not a Jewish person. He said, this is, I think if we're, why am I held accountable for some random fucking 19-year-old in Yemen's tweets? What is happening? How many steps removed are we from this situation?
0? I mean, you platformed him. Do you not remember? Did the check not clear or something? When faced with fair criticism for
I
his
love it that
coverage...
his first instinct was to defend the Zionists getting impaled on spikes. And he's like, okay, whoa, this is, okay. This is really difficult. Okay. All right. Well, okay. Stay with me, chat. Stay with me. Okay. Not all, okay, hey, not all Zionists are Jews. The guy in the spike is not discernibly a Jew. And it's not even like you could consider the material reality of the. Wait, it's not even my tweet. It's just a tweet from a guy that I uncritically support. Like watching that thought process in real time is just, it's like poetic. That's kind of what that game is.
For some conversation,
liar, terrorist-loving, propagandist
piece. Like the reflexive justification, and then the there's a light bulb in his head. It's like, wait, this isn't you, Hasan.
This is shit.
This is why this entire conversation is fucking idiotic. It's not a Jewish person. He said, this is, I think if we're, why am I held accountable for some random fucking 19-year-old in Yemen's tweets? What is...
one more time for the boys. I just want to, it's like, I can see the cog turning and then there's a click and there's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? It's a fucking Zionist getting impaled on a spike. You're a one-state solution reconciliation, supposedly, South Africa analogy maker. Stop.
This is why this entire conversation is fucking idiotic. It's not a Jewish person. He said, this is, I think if we're, why am I held accountable for some random fucking 19-year-old in Yemen's tweets? What is happening?
I've got everything I could get from it. Okay. Maybe I just, come on, I can't just
Jewish person. He said, this is, I think if we're, why am I held accountable for some random fucking 19-year-old in Yemen's tweets? What is happening? How many steps removed are we from this situation?
0? I mean, you platformed him. Do you not remember? Did the check not clear or something? When faced with fair criticism for his coverage of the Houthi Luffy, he has a total meltdown.
I fucking despise all of you, dude. I do. I really do. I hate all of you. You successfully got me to talk about this.
He should have just stopped at why am I held accountable. That would have been a good meme.
And my patience is like, my patience is running thin on this matter. The endless selfishness, the untapped well of American selfishness and American individualism is in full display. How is this the conversation?
Is he breaking the fourth wall there? Who's he talking about?
That you want to have right now.
One of the most cynical methods Hasan deploys to sidestep any criticism is to deflect to the ongoing genocide in Gaza. I've seen him do this so many times. He frames it like you are selfish for trying to criticize him, no matter what the reason is, because there's a genocide happening, man. How can you criticize me at a time like this?
Claiming that I am, too pro-Houthi. When someone is like focusing on that while there's an active fucking ethnic cleansing campaign happening. He also apparently thinks Twitch is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager who's only known genocide his entire life. In the middle of fucking talking about fucking genocide in Gaza, and this dumb fuck, blow your nose, brother, love you, not trying to be mean, just keep some tissue nearby and clear it out occasionally when needed, much love. Fuck you, dude. My argument sucks? You think it justifies genocide? What are you, stupid? Everything that can be tangentially turned into like Jewish people are under attack is a decent way to just like drive discourse away from open
genocide.
Bro, it's so fucking horrible. You know, people accuse Hamas of using human shields, okay? I don't think in my entire life, in all urban warfare, I have ever seen someone hide behind the bodies of Arabs more than this cynical Ottoman colonizer cunt. Hamas could not hold a candle to the amount of human shielding that this guy does. This guy is literally fucking streaming every day with a fresh supply of fucking Arab corpses that he stacks up like fucking sandbags. And criticism comes and he's like, oh shit, I need a dead Arab, quick, give me some Yemenis. How dare you attack me in this ongoing jet? He's in trouble right now. Fuck. Is this ceasefire really a good thing for him? That he's running out. He's gonna run out of fucking defense mechanisms. Because really, now that there's a ceasefire, he's fair game. He's fair game now. He's gonna have to volunteer to clear up the rubble so he can get as many of the fucking remaining corpses as he possibly can to just throw up as a fresh supply until the next insane fucking terrorist action happens that results in another war that he justifies.
In Gaza. If your sole focus when Israel is doing a complete genocide in Gaza, if your sole focus revolves around that people are saying you're a Zionist, yeah, go fucking yell at streamers for not covering sufficiently the ongoing active genocide in Gaza instead of coming in here and fucking chirping at me.
It's quite a charge to just say I'm a stenographer for the Israeli government or I'm a propagandist. I don't think there's any evidence that I'm either of those things.
Get them
I'm curious,
out. Get the bodies out.
Think I am doing
while
the
we're
propaganda
having this
for?
conversation,
Yes.
3,000, Pierce, while we're having this back and forth, 3,840 Palestinians have been ruthlessly slaughtered in the last incursion into Gaza. I feel like this is an incredibly selfish, self-centered conversation to have.
This technique is so powerful because everyone is afraid of being labeled as a genocide denier. Pierce Morgan, with decades of experience, immediately surrenders when the genocide card is pulled.
When you're just a fucking stenographer, you're not a truth teller.
He has every right to defend himself. And grow a pair, Pierce. Stand up for yourself, man. It's time to stop being intimidated by these online overnight activists who couldn't even point to Gaza on a map before October 7th. Like Hasan, for example.
Doesn't know where Yemen is? Okay, I'm gonna click close. I'm closing it. I'm closing it. I think nope.
Average level of Ottoman care for the Middle East, for the Arab world. This is how much Ottomans. This is the Ottomans.
Hasan's tone is that of a rich girl whose parents have gotten her a job and a degree and a car, and she f's up, and the world gives her a consequence while she lashes out and calls for her girlies.
Whoa! Thanks for $10. This is the Ottomans as they're drawing up the fucking Sanjaks, like and the Vilayets, drawing up the regions. This is how much of a shit they gave. Oh my God! Why is it so unstable over here? The thing with this is, like, there's not really any problem with being ignorant at some point and then learning stuff later. It's just that Hasan, he acts as if he's been, like, on this topic. Like, he's been, like, he talks like he's been in the shit for 10 years. He always says that, 10 years. This is not 10 years ago, man. This is not even...
Nope. Got it.
How can you claim to actually care about this genocide when you're willing to so cynically exploit it to sidestep any criticism? What a bigot. Before we move on, Hasan has one final taste of idiocy for us all to enjoy.
Now this kid is like, I think he was like 19 at the time when I talked to him, which means that for most of his life, he has withstood genocide, right? Like he is a person whose only experience is like, it's literally like talking to fucking Anne Frank, basically, okay? Being able to talk to Anne Frank in real time.
To quote Anne Frank, I keep my ideals because in spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. Anne Frank continues to inspire generations of people because in the face of a genocide that eventually took her and her entire family's life, except for her dad, she refused to give in to hate, malice, and violence. And then there's this guy, who would have killed Anne Frank if he ever met her.
You might think this is a sweet, innocent girl. Well, I'm happy to tell you guys we are working on a new edition just for you, Hasan. You should hear about the time she went roaming the streets of Berlin at night with a knife slitting the throats of families, including children, babies, and the elderly. She's killed children, you guys. She even rapes people. She's just like Luffy. There is no other way to describe this than terrorist propaganda. Not only is he platforming terrorist propaganda, right, uncritically, he's participating in it. He's enhancing it. He is not just a conduit. He is an active participant who's disseminating it to more and more people in a way more consumable form. This is extremely fucked up. But why should he care? Their flag doesn't say death to fucking Turks. It says curse upon the Jews. Hasan likes to obfuscate on this and says nobody cares when Sean Penn interviewed El Chapo.
Sean Penn literally interviewed El Chapo. Exactly, dude.
Nobody is saying you can't have difficult conversations with controversial people. You just have to ask them hard questions, guys. We know this. Now let's move on to everybody's favorite terrorist organization, our friends in the north. It's Hezbollah. Where do I even begin? Thousands of civilians have been killed globally from their terrorist acts, car bombs, and suicide attacks. They even assassinated the Lebanese prime minister. They've hijacked civilian airplanes. They've shot 15,000 rockets into civilian centers. And if you can imagine, that's not even the worst things they've done. They participated in the slaughter of over 500,000 Syrian civilians to help a dictator, Bashar Assad, stay in power. They indiscriminately bombed over civilian centers, and they killed hundreds of thousands of civilians in what can only be described as a genocide. They are a designated terrorist group by the US, by the EU, and, oh yeah, the entire Arab League, which gave them that status after their participation in the Syrian genocide. In short, nobody likes them. Well, there is one person.
Hezbollah is a paramilitary organization.
Do we like them or no?
They are a terrorist organization. Like they're designated. They are designated by the American state as a terrorist organization.
I do not like them then.
Well, like
I like what you like.
I don't have an issue with them. Let's just say.
This is Hezbollah's leader, Hasan Nasrallah. According
He's so grumpy. They should have got a picture of him that he's a bit more smiley. You know, this doesn't really capture his energy that well. Or when he's got his finger up and he's like yapping about some shit.
Piker, this man is a brilliant freedom fighter. But before we get into that, let's see how he feels about Jewish people. Here are some choice quotes from Hezbollah's leader, Hasan Nasrallah. According to Shaul Shai, Hasan Nasrallah said in a speech delivered in Beirut, "What do the Jews want? They want security and money. Throughout history, the Jews have been Allah's most cowardly and avaricious creatures. If you look all over the world, you will find no one more miserly or greedy than they are."
I really wish it was, because this is according to Shaul Shai. Who is Shaul Shai? I know in recent years, he's an Israeli military historian. The problem with so many of these people, like for some reason, like academics or writers in the Middle East, like they really seem to be quite lazy. Like they really scrimp when it comes to sourcing their claims and like footnoting and things like that. And it happens with in all parts. When I look for Nasrallah being openly like anti-Semitic, like stereotypically anti-Semitic, I feel like he doesn't do it that often, and he's obviously very tactical because people like Nasrallah and leaders of Hamas know this as well. It's like they know that they have friends in the Western left, and they know they've had these friends for a long time, so they know how to shut the fuck up like when they need to. But look up the speech on Al-Manar directly and said, "Yeah, don't worry, Alice. I'm just gonna go watch an Al-Manar TV segment from 28th of September 2001 with my access to the Al-Manar TV archives and the fact that I can speak Arabic and the fact that I can subtitle it." Yeah, just give me a minute. Just give me a quick moment.
All over the world, you will find no one more miserly or greedy than they are.
I don't have.
I imagine it probably just doesn't exist online. Search it in memory. I've looked, okay? You're wrong, it's in their manifesto. What? Their fucking open letter from 1985.
If we search the entire world for a person more cowardly, despicable, weak, and feeble in psyche, mind, ideology, and religion, we would not find anyone like the Jew. Notice, I do not say Israeli.
I don't have an issue with them.
If Jews all gathered in Israel...
This quote is true because there's audio of it. I've heard this one before. And I showed it to my dad and he was like, yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah. And then he also follows up with like... Yeah, but that's just them like hyping him up. He's like, it's just hype. It's just how he talks.
will save us the trouble of going after them worldwide. The history of Jews has proven that, regardless of the Zionist proposal, they are a people who are evil in their ideas. The state of the grandsons of apes and pigs, the Zionist Jew, the murderers of the prophet. The Jews invented the legend of the Nazi atrocity.
I've actually had to order recently an entire book of Nasrallah speeches. It's like 500 pages of Nasrallah speeches. So I will get answers, okay? And I think they're mostly from back in the day as well. So we will have answers, okay? It's happening.
I don't have an issue with them.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. I mean, listen. Listen. You have to remember something, okay? A lot of these dudes, you see them in their fucking fits.
There's nothing wrong with calling Nasrallah brilliant. He's very smart, well-spoken, and well-read. Okay. There is a problem with probably saying that in conjunction with supporting them, though, and saying you don't have an issue with them. But, you know, you guys have no fucking standards, and you hate Arabs. So that's, unless you get to use their fucking bodies as a means of moral self-aggrandizement. Like, to say you don't have an issue with Hezbollah after what they did in Syria, where they killed more fucking Arabs than any, like, Israeli army could ever possibly reach. Yeah, there's probably a problem with that. But again, you guys don't give a fuck. Yeah.
And you hear about, like, some of their attitudes about, like, gay people, for example, and you immediately fucking resort to Orientalist perspectives, not realizing that these motherfuckers are better read than you by a million.
Also, you would never use this. Like, how many people are well-read who are shit? Lots of people do horrible things but are well-read. Like, well-read is not a defense. David Irving is well-read, okay? It's also just, it's also a little bit ignorant as well, because, like, Nasrallah is a cleric, right? He's an Islamic cleric. Nasrallah he never really branded himself as, like, an intellectual or an academic or a well-read person. Part of Nasrallah's appeal is that he had a very common man story. Nasrallah's appeal was from the fact that he was from a fairly poor family, I think initially in South Beirut. And there was always this thing about how he had, like, a very working man's accent, like a working class commoner's accent from Beirut. So I don't even know. It's just like, it's very silly, and the Hasan is just going for this angle to defend him. Like, he's really intelligent and well-read and like erudite. That's not really his appeal. His appeal is actually the opposite. He's more like a Trump figure in that sense, that about how he, like, speaks to that, and that's also actually how he gained a lot of this ability to speak to Lebanese people who were not Shia. Like, how he was able to gain Christian allies and Sunni allies as well.
Okay. Like, it's not a broken clock situation. No, dude. Half of these dudes literally get educated in America and in the UK. What the
like this as well? That's not what. Why are you comparing, like, Hasan Nasrallah, like a Lebanese Shia who would have been educated in in one of the shrine towns, the shrine cities in, like, Iraq or Iran? Not fucking. Why are you putting him in the same umbrella as the likes of, like, Bin Laden and these, like, Saudi nutters who go, or like Assad who goes to the UK for their education? These guys, like, these are very fucking different people from very different backgrounds and very different ideological persuasions. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the experiences of Sunni extremists or like Wahhabists or secular dictators versus, like, a Shiite cleric from Lebanon. It's so stupid. But these are all the same to him because, again, it's the Ottoman colonizer coming out of him again.
Fuck are you guys talking about?
The more you learn,
this is why it's Orientalist. To literally
ironically, after he's just said, like, two of the most Orientalist things you could say in response to people talking about Nasrallah.
Look at these dudes and go, oh no, they're fucking barbaric baboons, and, like, sometimes they get this shit right. No, dude, he knows. It's crazy. He's read more books than you could ever imagine.
Knowledge.
And also, ultimately, he is regarded as a pretty.
What books? Like, what's his field? I know he's a Shia cleric. That was his thing. Like, this is the worst thing. It's like Hasan, Piker, not Nasrallah. Hasan doesn't know anything about this person that he's praising. He doesn't know anything about Nasrallah's background, about what he did, about where he was educated, about how he came to power. He doesn't care about any of it. It's just all he sees is just a fucking like mouthy dude who sounds cool, I guess, and shits on Israel. And that's all he is. He's just viewed through the lens of Israel. He doesn't really have any interest in this in anything about Nasrallah as a person or as an ideologue or a speaker or a political figure. He's just winging it. He's making shit up as he goes along.
Pretty brilliant a person in terms of like everything that he's done. You might not agree with his methods. You might not agree with his attitude overall in terms of like his social, his
like murdering your political opponents and then just calling them Israeli afterwards. Or going to Syria and murdering civilians over there and calling them Israeli as well. You notice that that's what they do. It's a very, whenever you look at Hezbollah, like talking about any fucking enemy they have, they always like to link them back to Israel. They did it when they won that battle against ISIS on the border. They were like, this is a win against Zionism. Fuck me.
Opinions on civil liberties and shit like that. But ultimately, this motherfucker has read a shit ton of books.
Wow. Knowledge. I feel I've shown you guys enough evidence that Hezbollah is an evil terrorist organization, but have you considered this?
What you meant to say is Hezbollah is Muslim. Okay? That's what you meant to say. What you meant to say is they're Muslim. So, of course, as they're Muslim, it's different.
If you're wondering why Hasan's audience is so radicalized, it's because of stuff like this.
Israel, America's greatest ally, the most important country in the world, the most moral nation, the most moral democracy on the planet, is ruthlessly and mercilessly bombing southern Lebanon, including southern Beirut.
What did Lebanon do?
They just kind of were there. They happen to be Israel's neighbor.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
I don't remember this clip. I don't think I've seen that one. Really? They were just kind of there. Okay. That's well, this guy's a normie. I can just kind of, I can just get away with it. It's not really worth going into. Oh God.
Yeah.
Even as someone who's critical of Israel, this retelling is fucking insane.
They just kind of were there.
Hezbollah started launching rockets into Israel hours after the October 7th raid began. They launched 12,000 rockets, killed nearly 100 people, including 12 children.
You see, he's not even a smart propagandist. Like, you could, oh God, why wouldn't you say that, like, there are a few ways you could go about it. You could go to level 1. You could go to dipshit propagandists and just say, they fired at Israel because they wanted to take the pressure off of the genocide in Gaza. And they said, if you stop in Gaza, we'll stop in the north. So, yeah, good. And actually, most of the Israelis that they killed were soldiers, right? Depending on which part of the time frame it was. So you could say that, okay? Or you could do the level 2 propaganda and you'd say, well, where was the first place that Hezbollah fired on? Was it Israel? And it's like, no, they fired at Sheba. They fired the Sheba Farms, which is in the occupied Golan Heights, which actually there's a very strong case that the Sheba Farms should be part of Lebanon because of the people who used that land over the last 100 years. So really, so Hezbollah is not allowed to attack IDF bases, military bases in military occupied territory that has a much better justification of being part of Lebanon than it does of being Israel. And then someone might respond to that argument by saying, well, the Sheba Farms, maybe it should be in Lebanon. I think it should be. But legally, it's part of Syria. That's where the UN puts it. And Syria has never officially rescinded their claim to the Sheba Farms. One foreign minister said it once in the middle of the 2006 war. Assad never ceded the Sheba Farms to Lebanon. And the UN has never done that either. That's why the blue line puts the Sheba Farms into the Golan Heights, not into Lebanon. And there is no one in international law or in the international community who would make the argument that Hezbollah, which is not the Lebanese state, would be the ones fighting on behalf of Lebanon to claim Lebanese occupied territory. That's a ridiculous argument for so many different reasons. If the Sheba Farms are ever going to go to Lebanon, you need, first of all, Syria to say it's part of Lebanon, which they never have officially done. And then you would need Syria and Israel to negotiate the withdrawal from the Golan Heights and Lebanon to be part of that negotiation to the Lebanese government to take control over the Sheba Farms, not Hezbollah. But, Lebanon, yeah, they were just kind of there, you know. Israel was just like, well, we're fighting in Gaza. What? Okay. Anyone else? War cabinet meeting, genocide Gaza. Anyone else? And then some guy in the corner is like, Hezbollah's over there. And okay. No, sorry, that's not even what that's not even what happened. They're at the war cabinet and they're like, okay, we're about to finish. Anything else? And then some guy's like, Lebanon. Lebanon's a country on our northern border. Oh yeah, it is. Let's bomb the fuck out of them too. They were just kind of there. Well done, Hasan. Well done. I love it how the levels of dishonesty and simplicity sort of like change depending on who he's talking to, depending on like how uninformed he thinks the other person is and what he can get away with.
There.
Hezbollah.
They happen to be Israel's neighbor.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Even as someone who's critical of Israel, this retelling is fucking insane.
They just kind of were there.
Hezbollah started launching rockets into Israel hours after the October 7th raid began. They launched 12,000 rockets, killed nearly 100 people, including 12 children, and displaced 250,000 Israelis from northern Israel. That's what caused them to respond.
What did Lebanon do?
Shit. Why did he ask that? What do I say? Do I tell him the real reason? No, my audience will kill me for being a Zionist. Okay, let's try this.
They just kind of were there.
Hell yeah, another slick political saved by boots on the ground, Hasan Piker. Damn, I'm good.
Even as a pro-Palestine activist, how does lying about this serve your agenda? All it does is further radicalize people. It removes any nuance, and it avoids any criticism for his team. And this is what continues to drive this conflict on forever. Hasan is dedicated to pleasing his radical audience, even at the price of knowingly lying to them for TikTok and Twitter likes.
I'm a propagandist.
Or he's being paid, which, you know, we can't rule out. What a pathetic propagandist piece of shit liar he is.
Oh my God, blowout.
Let's move to Hamas, the catalyst for this entire thing. They're the ones that committed this horrible act of terrorism, one of the worst the world has ever seen, on October 7th. They are without a doubt the most extreme of all of these terrorist organizations. They are Islamic jihadists that want to convert all of Israel into an Islamic state under Sharia law. That's their stated goal. Hamas has been on the designated terrorist group pretty much as long as there's been a group. These guys have been suicide bombing civilians before ISIS leaders were even born. They fired 50,000 rockets into civilian populations and performed over 100 suicide bombings, killing thousands of civilians. Women are restricted from participating in the workplace and public life. Homosexuality is outlawed, and in some cases, of course, punishable by death. They steal foreign aid from the people of Gaza and repurpose it for military use, or they just sell it back to them. For example, why are all the Hamas leaders billionaires? And let's be real, these guys clearly are not skipping any meals. While the people of Gaza...
I think this guy, he had a fucking exercise bike. This guy here, I feel like he's going to have some role to play in Hamas's leadership going forward. This guy, Khaled Mashal, is like, he's their, he's quite funny. He's kind of like Hamas's lefty whisperer. Whenever I see clips of him talking, he's always, especially if he's talking in Arab media to other like Arab commentators, he's always yapping off about how you need to harness the friendships that we have in the Western left and with Western Jews and all that. Is he moderate? No, he's not fucking moderate, but he is very mindful, I think, more than other Hamas people. Like, he talks a lot about speaking the language of the Western left. Like, he's like he's the lefty whisperer. He is the guy who was in Hania's position, the head of the Politburo, when the 2017 charter came out. He was the guy behind that, where they basically reframe Hamas's position as not so much a religious war, but one of human rights, and where they get rid of all the references to Jews and switch it to Zionists and things like that. So that's kind of like his role, is to make themselves more palatable to a Western audience whilst maintaining all the same goals. Because the 2017 charter has all the same goals as the first one. None of that changes. It's just the rhetoric is a bit different. It's massaged.
And let's be real, these guys clearly are not skipping any meals. While the people of Gaza languish in poverty, these fine gentlemen are living in multi-million-dollar penthouses in Qatar. That lines up with leftist values.
Yeah.
Or, well, they were billionaires.
Because they're all dead.
Yeah.
They killed it all. They're all dead. Hamas is a bunch of psychopathic terrorists of the worst order. And nobody would be crazy enough to defend them. No, is this Hasan again? Hasan defended Hamas? Seriously? Okay. We had to make last-minute changes to this part to prevent it from being age-restricted on YouTube. I cut out the footage from Hamas, and I will attempt to narrate it for you as best I can. In this scene, an older woman is walking hand in hand with a girl who looks about 12. And as they're getting in the back of the van, one of the terrorists gives them a wave goodbye and says goodbye to them in English. And the two of them smiling wave back.
Oh, wait, did Hasan... There's no way Hasan fell for this. There's no way. I don't remember. He really fell for the smiling Israeli girls when they're being filmed with guys with fucking guns, their captors looking at them and staring at them as they're about to be released. And we think that they're acting in a sincere, natural, unprompted way. What? Let's see. No way. No.
And the two of them smiling wave back.
That's crazy, dog. Dude. Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. That actually, okay, that's too
Obviously,
much.
the chat is like, that's funny, best friends. Like, what did it say there? Look at the difference, how they treat them. Yeah.
Crazy. That actually, okay, that's too much. That's too much. That's more than I expect. Bro, every time they're releasing hostages, the next wave, they're going to be like, actually, I'm good. Like, I'm staying.
These hostages are being released at gunpoint.
Mate, if you're falling for this, especially after all the pomp that happened on that stage with the recent releases, if that's what you're going to fall for, I think your head should be donated to science. Like, what the fuck is going on inside there? Ugh.
By the people who likely murdered their family in front of them before kidnapping them. Hasan peddling this narrative that they're sad to leave their captors is beyond disgusting.
The next wave, they're going to be like, actually, I'm good.
It's plainly obvious these are traumatized victims who are scared for their life and doing what the terrorists are telling them to do in order to avoid any conflict on the way out.
Shit,
oh,
really?
Look at the sweet masked terrorist with his AK-47. He's so nice. Did you guys see how he waves goodbye?
You mean Hamas, like the masters of fucking propaganda in the region? The guys who literally the only war they can ever win and will ever win is the propaganda war. Those guys would take the propaganda seriously. So when those guys put a camera in front of you, they're probably doing it for propaganda purposes and they're going to influence what is actually captured by that camera. Really? That's fucking crazy, chat.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. This is some crazy PR. They look traumatized as fuck. Wait, what? Bro, they look like they're chilling.
This girl who had her foot blasted off on October 7th and then operated on without anesthesia or painkillers is so sorry to say goodbye to her captors. She's going to miss their hospitality, like being raped and being watched showering and changing.
The next wave, they're going to be like, actually, I'm good. Like, I'm staying.
It's so obvious the terrorists are telling them what to do. Ethan, how can you say that? They look so happy. Keep waving. These morons forgot to cut out this part. Yes, that's a terrorist giving them an order to keep waving. And she does. See how fast she reacts? Totally not a fearful victim of terrorism.
Someone in chat saying better healthcare under Hamas
how
than
fast
under
she reacts?
Really? Oh, God. Pretty sure Netanyahu, like the Israeli healthcare system is like pretty decent, I thought, but okay.
Totally not a fearful victim of terroristic kidnapping. Anyone peddling this nonsense should be embarrassed and ashamed. How pathetic can you get?
The next wave, they're going to be like, actually, I'm good. Bro, they look like they're chilling.
All right, the Houthis is one thing, but he's not going to turn on Hamas propaganda videos and watch it on stream. There's no way. Okay, it's getting hard to defend him. Freedom fighters, musical shit.
Here is a video that came out of how Hamas produces their own motherfucking sniper rifles.
He can hardly contain his admiration for them.
Produces their own motherfucking sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Let's see how long he can go without offering any commentary or analysis on this Hamas hype video.
Is that COD?
Forgotten Weapon said this video is fake. It's a propaganda video. Maybe wouldn't be surprised if it was fake. If they couldn't actually build a fucking sniper rifle with a what seems to be like a 70-year-old lathe. Okay.
One minute, 36 seconds. Nice. He's taken his time to analyze and think. I expect nothing less from a journalist such as Hasan.
Quiet, everybody. He's about to speak. He's gonna talk.
That's crazy.
He's done it again. We love you.
I did watch the video, yeah. Like, it does look like, it seems quite convincing that what they were doing was just like assembling Iranian sniper rifles, using mostly like the main parts that they got were from Iran.
We will continue killing your soldiers by our locally manufactured snipers. Wow, there's a little message for the Americans out there as well. They're saying like artisanal snipers. So, why am I showing you this?
Yeah, good why? Question. Why are you showing us 2 minutes of uninterrupted Hamas propaganda? I'm sure he has a good answer.
The reason why I'm showing you this is because one thing that the Israeli maintenance of the apartheid has shown us is that there are no half measures on genocide. You either got to hit the full gen, okay? You can't do half genocide, a little bit of displacement, and then continue maintaining an apartheid state and maintaining an occupation, okay? Which is basically what America did back in the day when, you know.
Did he call it? Did he call it fucking artisanal sniper? An artisanal sniper. A mom and pop shop sniper.
We were building America, Manifest Destiny, right?
Hold on. You showed this to us because of Manifest Destiny? The fuck are you talking about? This is just word salad.
This is like the H bomber guy thing, where you structure what they're saying like this. This is what I mean, though. Like, when you're a streamer, you're not actually like a show. You're not a video essay. You're definitely not even a lecture, right? You are just noise in the background for people whilst they're having a wank or working their desk job or doing both at the same time, right? It's just...
He's really saying nothing here. So he has no good reason. Got it. Okay, fine. He likes Hamas. He watches their propaganda. But he's not going to deny the violent rapes that took place. That is way beyond the pale.
There is one instance in captivity that we have actually gotten verifiable evidence on. Beyond that,
by verifiable evidence here, at this point, he meant a survivor talking, but he doesn't count witness statements. Even what the UN termed credible witness statements, you can look at the report. They say it multiple times. That's not valid to him. Watch the Denims clip on this. On what? The rapes or artisanal snipers? He's a master sniper tier. Is a woman who builds sniper rifles a sniperess?
Systematized mass rapes that Hamas dealt on October 7, not a single bit of that has been verified. And people still run with it over and over and over again.
Many young people who are simply attending a music festival. Women were horribly raped. As I said then, I say today, Israel has a right to defend itself.
What rapes did Hezbollah do? Bro, what rapes did Hamas do? What are you talking about? The Stop Anti-Semitism account that considered me to be anti-Semite of the week has also been hallucinating rapes once again, doing rape fantasies once again, because they're fucking mentally ill.
Hamas has committed horrific acts of sexual violence and took
women and girls, men and boys slaughtered after enduring sexual violence. The deadliest day of the...
Like, do you notice how he keeps saying the problem is this ordered, directly, systematized, widespread? They don't mention that, and he still freaks out. He's just saying people were raped. Which again, with the evidence we have, they were. Like, we have about as much evidence for it as we do for any time a historian has said that, yeah, there were rapes here. Yeah. And it was quite a lot, given that the attack didn't last that long and only took place in a small area. It's for the Israel-Palestine conflict, it's quite a lot of rapes to happen in a single day, or even like a few hours. But, you know.
For the Jewish people.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic.
What's the evidence? If you look at the UN, it's mostly a combination of some circumstantial digital evidence and what they call credible witness evidence, as in they ask multiple witnesses from different areas and find out that they saw roughly the same thing, right? And if they can correspond to the bodies as well. Whereas they were willing to write off some of the witnesses when they said, like, say if one witness said something about a rape in a particular kibbutz, but then the two victims and what other people said when they found their bodies was different, then they would write that one off. They found that for, I think, two. There were two witness statements, like two famous ones, that were unverifiable, they said. But the other ones, they were credible witness statements, which is what you do in history. In history, we don't know that rapes happen in history because of kits, right? Because of smear tests or whatever, or because of fucking camera footage. We know because witnesses corroborate evidence. Or because of circumstantial evidence like, there's a really strange number of women who are stripped from the waist down with their legs spread apart when they were killed.
Dynamic for me, even this much. So that's the other part of this problem that many people can't contend with. Like,
I can't believe how quickly leftists go from believe all women to pics or it didn't happen. The vast majority of people, if not all, who were raped
Hey, that's my argument. Oh, shit.
Murdered on the spot, obviously.
Gam Goldstein Almog was kidnapped from her home on October 7th by Hamas terrorists and was held captive for 51 days. Though only 17 years old, she witnessed the murder of her father and sister on that day and is now speaking out about what she witnessed in Gaza as well in a new documentary by Sheryl Sandberg, Screams Before Silence. In new footage, Agam reveals that sexual assault and rape was a regular component of the life as a hostage in Gaza.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th.
Hasan, maybe you would like to call her a liar. Please, go right ahead.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses, most of who were in hiding and heard or saw it happen. And each week, there's more stories coming out. There's a UN report that concludes it happened.
Doesn't matter.
But Hasan needs a rape kit from a mutilated body. It's so vile to deny the suffering and trauma of the victims just because you need your heroes at Hamas to be perfect. This conflict will never end until people realize that Palestinian liberation and Israeli security are not mutually exclusive.
Whoa!
You need both. And it can be done, but not while people like Hasan lie, propagandize, and incite hate. It's people like him, ironically, that prolong the conflict.
What is this Denims clip you guys keep on talking about? I can't see it. I never saw it on my feed. I haven't seen people reference it on Twitter. What is this clip? Do I need to watch this clip? Must I be subjected? She had a lot of viewers when this nuke came out. She had a shitload of viewers. She had more viewers than Hasan. And it didn't look like they were botted because the chats were moving at around the same time as Hasan's was. The same speed, I mean. H3H3 sub has it. Well. Says she only believes women who come forward with sexual abuse. Oh, is this like witnesses? Okay. All right, this is our shit on witness statements. This is what we're looking at. Historian here, like you say, we use eyewitness records that were written later because in the majority of cases, it's the only thing left. With luck, you have archaeological evidence, but not always. Wow, that's crazy. Wow! My chat agrees with me. That's fucking mental. What?
Like,
I can't believe how quickly leftists go from believe all women to pics or it didn't happen. The vast majority of people, if not all, who were raped were murdered on the spot.
Here's the thing, though. We are believing the women who come forward and talk about their sexual abuse or experiences. I'm not going to believe fucking Biden when he tells me that everybody's getting raped.
It wasn't Biden, though. Biden said people got raped because Israeli witnesses who survived said they saw it. Do we not believe witness statements, though? Is that not allowed? You can corroborate witness statements, though. You can corroborate them. You can have more than one witness to a crime. And you can also, like we've done in the past, is have a circumstantial evidence, because usually if you see a dead woman who's stripped from the waist down and her legs are spread apart, and you see multiple people like that, then you're probably going to assume that some sexual violence happened. But yeah, we typically don't conduct these things in when it comes to wartime. We don't really conduct our analysis in a fucking lab. Okay, we work with what we have.
Fucking Biden when he tells me that everybody's getting raped.
Fuck Biden.
That's insane.
Okay.
You realize that that's insane, right?
Obviously.
Gam Goldstein Almog was kidnapped from her home on October 7th by Hamas terrorists and was held captive for 51 days.
Oh, this is a survivor.
Though only 17 years
no.
old, she witnessed the murder of her father and sister on that day and is now speaking out about what she witnessed in Gaza as well in a new documentary.
Oh shit, she just said that she believed survivors though when they talk. Oh, this ain't Biden. That's no corn pop nemesis, Jack.
By Sheryl Sandberg, Screams Before Silence. In new footage, Agam reveals that sexual assault and rape was a regular component of the life as a hostage in Gaza.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th.
Hasan, maybe you would like to call her a liar. Please, go right ahead.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses, most of who were in hiding and heard or saw it happen. And each week there's more stories coming out. There's a UN report that concludes it happened.
Doesn't matter.
But Hasan needs a rape kit from a mutilated...
Wait, wasn't this disproven? Was this clip from her disproven? Is he going to play the clip of her saying anything?
No, and actually the survivors who spoke were in the UN report as they had two levels. One was reasonable grounds to believe, and the other was clear and convincing evidence. How would you disprove the survivor? What they asked Hamas and they were like, no, I didn't do it? What do you mean? With respect to hostages, the mission team found clear and convincing information that some have been subjected to various forms of conflict-related sexual violence, including rape and sexualized torture, and sexualized, cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment. And reasonable grounds, because there are two standards. There's reasonable grounds to believe, and then above that, there was clear and convincing. And clear and convincing was the higher standard, but it was for hostages. Also, no one reads this report. It's like credible sources. That's what they describe with the witnesses. But there are some witnesses who they discount because a couple of witnesses in this report said things that they couldn't verify. It was like one witness said something, but it's contradicted by what all the other witnesses said. But for the other ones, I wonder if there's one for even the gang rape incident. They described that as reasonable grounds to believe, credible sources, including credible statements by eyewitnesses. There are reasonable grounds to believe that multiple incidents of rape, including gang rape, occurred in and around the Nova Festival site. Ooh. Uh-oh. That's a good one as well, though, for the postmodernist React stream, right? The postmodernist React stream, you can just throw in a, wait, wasn't this debunked? Like, well, something around that might have been. So something like 4 degrees of separation from this particular story might have been debunked. Yeah, that has nothing to do with this.
Indefinitely. There's no space for conversation. There's no space for rational thought. There's no space for nuance. My position on Palestine is like 5 degrees off from where Hasan is. And to him and his community, I'm the devil. I'm a Nazi. It's delusional thinking, and it's destructive to their own cause.
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th.
Oh no, Frogan did the thing as well. This is the same.
Why do you say that? Because, bro, you're... wasn't she in the IDF?
Yeah. Same for
Frogan.
Frogan.
Mandatory service. That's sad. That's terrorism, bro.
Right.
She was born there. That's sad. Feel bad for you guys. Ethan Klein, bro, you're ugly as fuck, bro. You're ugly as shit. You look like a rapist, bro. Look at the fucking... You look like a fucking rapist, Ethan. Feel bad for you guys. Ethan Klein, bro, you're ugly as fuck, bro. You're ugly as shit. You look like a rapist.
Yeah, there's literally a Sneeko fan.
Uh-oh.
The fuck?
Oh my god, bro, I love you. Hasan, can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
I love you, bro.
I'm so sweaty.
I love you, bro. I have to interview you. You're my hero, bro. I love you. Bro, you're
how does Frogan handle it? It's not going to be...
I have to interview you. You're my hero, bro. I love you. Bro, you're the coolest guy in the world, bro. Hold on, I think I look gay now.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Does she just look down and not say anything? Oh wait, shit, I got something on my phone. Oh no, I got
I love you, bro. I have to interview you. You're my hero, bro.
Holy shit, my Candy Crush.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Wow. Lightning strikes twice, eh?
Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much. God forbid you throw up the fucking green Hamas banner. What is this?
And now let's move on to our next terrorist organization, Twitch TV. Sinwar, Nasrallah, Dan Clancy. Of course, I'm being a little silly when I call Twitch a terrorist organization. It's only a megaphone for terrorist propaganda. Dan Clancy has been the CEO for a few years, and under his leadership, there's been a few notable instances, one being reducing the premium subscription split from 70-30 to 50-50, which he reversed after backlash. He also attempted to ban the size of sponsored logos on stream to 3% of the size of the screen, was also reversed after backlash. So he's essentially achieved nothing. Oh, well, there is one thing. He actually laid off 900 employees. That one he did not take back. But here's where the trouble begins. He likes Hasan. He really likes Hasan. Let me read you an excerpt from a recent interview Dan did. Not a gamer himself, Clancy mostly watches musicians or talk shows on Twitch. He particularly enjoys leftist political commentator Hasan Piker.
Hey.
I like the frankness and the bluntness. He's comfortable saying whatever he believes. Don't you think that might be part of the problem there, Danny boy?
Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October.
Oh my God, chat. New goal. New goal. There's a new goal went up. Can you believe it? There's a new goal. Who knows what'll happen after this goal?
October 7.
By speaking what he believes, he should be on Rumble with the other fringe radical political streamers. But no, not under Dan Clancy's watch. Dan has elevated him to the status of Twitch Golden Boy. And if you still have doubts, let this settle the matter. Just for clarity, Dan Clancy is the one filming and singing in this video.
Happy birthday to you.
What the fuck?
Happy birthday to you.
Bro, we're never beating the Hasan runs Twitch allegations after this. This is crazy. Oh my God.
Happy birthday, dear Hasan.
This is crazy.
I love two things on Twitch, gooning and terrorism. Yeah, we're here on Twitch to do gooning and terrorism. And I'm all out of goon.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm cooked, I'm cooked.
Happy birthday from Twitch, Hasan. Happy birthday from Twitch.
I've been looking around and I genuinely have never seen another video like this anywhere, where Dan Clancy or any top executive forced all these poor sons of bitches during their lunch break to gather around in the crew room and sing happy birthday for Hasan Piker. How humiliating is that? There's also a small issue of Dan being a total creep.
Want to explore clips?
That's very nice.
And now you have a clips feed. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Suppose you want to check out the stories to see what you missed yesterday. You click there, and now you're in your stories feed. Okay?
Okay.
Oh no.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
That's also...
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Suppose you want to check out the stories
Dan
to
Gooney.
see what you missed yesterday. You click there. And now you're in your stories. Okay?
Okay.
Oh no.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
That's also...
Have a seat
Okay.
on that chair.
Okay.
What were you doing with your pants?
You know, Dan, I would have let this creep narrative go. If it didn't happen twice, roll it.
You want to see clips? Swipe this way and now you're seeing clips. The clips are, and
Wait, didn't he have a fucking Pornhub account with his name? Wasn't this a thing? I'm not wrong about this, am I? That he had a particular taste for the teen category. He was a connoisseur of the teen category on Pornhub. Oh no. Oh no. Why would you use your fucking, I think it was the same name as Twitter handle. With his, it was his work email. Bro.
That's not necessarily the algorithm.
First of all, it's gross enough you're a creep, but what an incompetent idiot you are. You're the CEO of Twitch and you get caught with the fucking, you get caught with the girlies on your homepage twice? Bro, come on, dude. You got wife, man. Got daughters. We don't need to know about this. Don't want that in my head, bro. It's also a little bit disturbing considering, you know, he's these people's bosses.
Okay.
Is there a guy in the background just watching the Houthi dance at the Twitch offices? That's good.
Considering, you know, he's these people's bosses.
Okay.
All right, so he's incompetent. He's a creep. He's protecting terrorist propagandists. So what's up? So what's the big deal?
I'm sorry, but who actually makes accounts on porn sites? Older people, I guess. Boomers. Boomer gooners.
Dan Clancy. Well, what happened next is what really made me realize how corrupted and rotten Twitch is to the very core of the organization. First, let me introduce you to Frogan.
Why don't you go take a trip to Home Depot and buy some rope?
She's one of Hasan's main moderators. She's leading great discourse like Ethan's Islamophobic for saying, don't kill civilians. She has zero talent. She has 100 concurrent viewers, but somehow she's always on the homepage. She's winning awards. Nobody's watching her. Nobody cares. Why is she relevant? We don't know. It's important for me to show you guys what an actual horrible person Frogan is, so that you can see who Twitch is elevating. So let's start with this clip. Ludwig, a large streamer on Twitch, donated $10,000 to the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. That's a wonderful thing to do, right? No, not good enough for Frogan.
I find ultimately, like, if I were to do a charity thing where the charity thing relies on your donations, it should be something where like 95% of people feel good and are down for it. And like ultimately, regardless of what you think, that is not the situation here. So I personally donated 10K. Because I think...
What do you think about Lud? What do I think about Ludwig? Like this guy, the streamer. I don't know why you would ever ask me that question. Why would you ask me my opinion on Ludwig? You might as well be asking me my opinion on a bowl of cornflakes. Like, okay, yeah, I guess it's like it's there. It's never really going away. Is it bad? Not really. It just doesn't make me feel anything.
It is worthwhile. And if you guys got some extra bread, I would recommend you donate. But I won't throw it on you, you know what I mean? No thanks. And some people are gonna say that, you know what I mean? That's why it's the difference.
This is a cracker take.
Difference between like, hey, I can put my money where my mouth is, but I don't need to put your money there. I don't need to enter a fucking debate about whether that's worthwhile.
Take. I know Arabs are dying, but you know, I'm not gonna tell you to donate.
He's giving 10K, mate. 10K. That's like, what was that? It's like 6 emergency rent funds. It's like half a year of your rent, buddy.
Do whatever you want. I donated $10,000, but I'm not gonna promote it. Just don't say you donated $10,000 then. Look, if you're not actively believing, if you don't believe in the cause, and if you're not against genocide at this point, like, keep your fucking money. Keep your $10,000. Keep your little chump change. Like,
why? Why would you call it chump change when you're begging for rent, my friend? What the fuck? Why is everyone just like pretending to be someone else when they stream? Like, it's so weird. Chump change. Peanuts.
Like, what do you want? Do you want me to say, like, congratulations?
Imagine being Frogan, a leftist living in LA in comfort, begging for her rent money on stream, and telling displaced and famished Palestinian children, no kids, you need to give that 10,000 back. Ludwig didn't pass my purity test.
Keep your fucking money.
But wait, there's more.
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers. Distress, thank you so much. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. U.S. military? Boo fucking who? I hope you get PTSD. Oh my God, I want my fucking Camaro, no student loans. Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD.
Whoa.
And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
This clip obviously made the rounds on social media and rightfully outraged a lot of people. Here's how she responded the next day.
I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America. And they posted it in my head. I'm like, base? Base? Like, am I supposed to be like, I'm not walking back on it. I still fucking agree with it. Base?
The soundbite is just like rotting my brain. It's gonna replace my inner monologue at this point. Based?
The smug defiance Frogan is showing is only because she knows that Twitch will do nothing to moderate her, despite veterans being classified as a protected group in Twitch's own community guidelines. But wait, there's more!
Oh my God, she's mouthing it. Oh no.
6250. 9/11 baking stream with Raf and Capri. If we get to this goal by 9/11, Capri, Raf, and I will make the Twin Towers out of a stacked cake, and we'll make an airplane, and we'll recreate 9/11.
This tweet was the final straw for me. You'll notice the date is October 7th, 2023, the morning of the massacre, at 5:30 a.m. Pacific time. At this moment, Hamas militants had infiltrated a music festival and several kibbutzim, where they began their wanton slaying of civilians. Here's what she tweeted. Leftists preach and foam at the mouth at the thought of a revolution happening in America. But as soon as it happens in the Middle East, what they're doing is wrong. It's not what she said. It's when she said it. While she's on Twitter celebrating, I was listening to the local news in Israel. Families were calling into news stations begging for help. Let me show you what I mean.
איפה אתם? יואו, ממי, צריכים מיקום. תתרחבו, תמצאו מקום, תתרחבו. אבל אני אוהבת אותך, אנחנו בתוך הלחם. אי אפשר לצאת. אני יוצא לכיוון שלכם עכשיו, צריכים מיקום, שליחים מיקום. אני בא, ממי, צריכים מיקום, אלוהים.
The morning of October 7th, Israelis were listening to calls like this all morning long. Dozens of them. Imagine reading this tweet after listening to this. This woman should have moved on years ago to another profession. But for some reason, Twitch is obsessed with keeping her on life support. And instead of moderating her, they actually gave her an award, Together for Legendary Woman, in which she would get front page placement all year long. This is actually my favorite detail about Frogan. She won a Rising Star Award at the Streamer Awards, an award show put on by her friends. And then the next year, guys, she gets nominated for Rising Star again. Are they fucking with her? You can't be Rising Star twice. It's up or it's down, man. In fact, you were never up. That was the problem. They tried to pretend like you were up, but you were always down. Rising Star twice. What's this, fucking Mario?
It's like you've been up and coming for 10 years. God.
You hit a boost up there or some shit. Because Frogan is the two-time Rising Star champ, and because of her massive viewership of 100 concurrent viewers, it only makes sense that Twitch would give her one of the main stages at TwitchCon to do a 45-minute long segment. Her idea that was Twitch approved, an Arab to Jew racial tier list. So the premise is who can say Habibi, an Arabic word of affection like baby or sweetheart. And this tier list determines who can say it. Top and most desirable tier is Arab. And at the bottom, the worst one is, quote, loves Sabra. Now, why does Love Sabra equate to Jews? Sabra is a well-known Israeli company that makes hummus. They've been on the divestment list for many, many years, so the activists are well aware of their status. Oh yeah, and Sabra literally means a Jew that was born in Israel. It also plays up an anti-Semitic.
I don't like the Sabra means Jew born in Israel because no one, Frog doesn't even know what a Druze is. Lebanese woman doesn't even know what a Druze is, right? She's not going to know what Sabra means, but okay. There are better arguments.
The activists are well aware of their status. Oh yeah, and Sabra literally means a Jew that was born in Israel.
Oh,
It also plays up an anti-Semitic trope that denies Jewish identity in the Middle East. There's this idea that Israelis are all white colonizers who are stealing the culture and identity of Arabs to make it seem like they belong there. Watch Frogan and her co-hosts accuse Israelis of culturally appropriating Arab culture.
The one thing that's like funny is that there's two types of like genocide, right? There's like genocide of real people, and then there's like cultural genocide, right? Like this is fucking funny. Like, those motherfuckers trying to take hummus and say it's Israeli is the most insane thing to me.
Dude, the fact that they have the audacity to create Sabra and make that like the staple hummus of America, insane.
It's super offensive to us. And like that's
oh, it's him as well. This fucking loser. Oh, he's gonna do it too, is he? This goofball. This goofy fuck who just relies on the fucking ignorance of his white audience because he's like an authentic Lebanese dude and shit. Even though he doesn't seem to know shit. There's no way this guy knows, this fucking idiot knows that most Israeli Jews are fucking Middle Eastern, right? They're the ones who make the hummus, bro. It's not stolen. They've been eating it for as long as you have, motherfucker.
Actual like cultural appropriation. Like people get mad when someone has like dreadlocks and they call that culture. I'm like, come on, it's just like a hairdo. Like it's okay. People like white people are allowed to have dreadlocks if they want dreadlocks, but like actually trying to claim our food, our desserts.
Just one question for you guys.
Who the fuck do you think is making the hummus in Israel? Martha Stewart? No, it's the same fucking Arabic-speaking Jews that you kicked out in the 1950s. Yes, they also like hummus, and they like all the same shit you do. Because they are you. They're from your country. You kicked them all out, and now you're accusing them of stealing your culture. You want to talk about cultural genocide? Well, here it is. You racist piece of shit.
Those motherfuckers trying to take hummus and say it's Israeli is the most insane thing to me.
Hey, scumbag, here's a hummus place we used to eat at. The chef is from Yemen. Here's another dude from Syria. Does this dude look like a white colonizer to you? Would you like to tell him he's stealing your culture? Well, this is what most Israelis look like.
Dude, the fact that they have the audacity to create Sabra.
This is casual bigotry being passed around like a leftist talking point. It's exactly why people are saying that anti-Semitism is coming mostly from the left. And yes, I know this dipshit is also Jewish. Incredible. He picked up so many tokens, he actually became one. And by the way, everybody on this panel is looking pretty fucking white themselves. So bearing all of this in mind, it's really not a stretch to say that the Love Sabra bracket is a dog whistle for Israelis or Jews.
The next person is one of my favorite people.
Oh no. Listen, the diasporoid allegations is in real trouble now. Hasan says it's Israel's fault. What, that the Mizrahi Jews ended up running away? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, like it's like there's really, if you think about it, there's a word for it. You know, when you persecute and attack and even murder, in a lot of cases, a bunch of Jews in one area because a bunch of Jews from a different area did something in another place. If you do that, it's called. There's a word for that, right? It's like guilt by association. No, it's called anti-Semitism. Dumb fuck. Yeah. If you attack Middle Eastern and North African Jews because a bunch of European Jews from a different part of the world did something else that was bad, that's because you're an anti-Semite. Vosh once said Middle Eastern Jews just wanted to oppress Arabs. I don't believe I've heard him say that. I mean, they do now. They're the most right-wing Jews in Israel are the Middle Eastern and North African ones. Yeah, the Ethiopians and shit. Looking good, LonerBox. LonerBox is a honey. Nope! Don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to me like that. Chat. Excuse me. No.
Ethan Klein.
I told you guys to clap.
This is a good reaction.
That was a good one. That's good. All right. Turn that up. Turn giraffes.
We all know where this is going.
You guys are missing a category for Zionist. That was a joke. That was just a joke. In my
stand up. Well, obviously it's Love Sabra, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
That's easy. That's
Definitely Love Sabra.
She apparently consulted with the head of the KKK, and he told her more subtle. So if it wasn't obvious enough, they pull me, one of the best-known Jewish creators, and immediately put me in Sabra. Hasan, by the way, who's Turkish, not Arab, is Arab. That's the good one. That's the good one. The Arab ethnicity is S tier. Then Denham's jokes that we don't have a category low enough for Zionists, once again calling out my Jewish identity.
Dude, where's the, you guys are missing a category for Zionist.
And if it isn't about being Jewish, why would they put Ben Shapiro in the thumbnail, one of the other most prominent Jews on YouTube, in the category next to me when he's not even featured in the game? Who's next down there? Anne Frank? Einstein? Seth Rogen? Schindler? Well, he wasn't Jewish, but they would put him down there, let's be real. It also doesn't help their case that both my wife and Ben Shapiro's wife were born in Israel, which would make them Sabras. So Love Sabra, literally in this case, means Jew lover. That sounds pretty racist. And what about the title? How Arab are these Twitch?
I'm more sold on the colonizer memes. That's a good way to explain it. Didn't I draw a fucking graph? I remember because Stardust shouted this out, even though, oh God. You'd be at the Sabra also. Like, Sabra hummus is fine. Don't mind it. It's decent. It's obviously not as good as something from a hummus place or homemade or anything, but what are you going to do?
Of Israel's current Jewish population is of at least partial Mizrahi descent. That means the majority of Israelis today are non-white and have origins from the Middle East. Let's listen to our friend LonerBox explain the Sabra hummus stigma.
Within leftist discourse, particularly North American leftist discourse, is the idea that Sabra hummus, this mass-produced Israeli hummus in North America, is bad hummus. And the reason that they'll say it's bad is because it's Israeli. The idea is that Israelis are not indigenous to the region. They're white European colonizers, etc., etc. They came to the Middle East and they saw Arabs eating hummus, and then they said, "Oh, how quaint! The chickpeas. It's like they've chewed it up for me. It's like stoner food." So they like that, and then they grab the machine and they kill all the Arabs, and they steal the chickpeas and the tahini, and they throw it into a cement mixer and produce some mass-produced trash for white people who don't know any better. Okay? This is bullshit. Okay? The fact is that brand hummus is never going to be as good as what you would get in a hummus place in the Middle East or in a restaurant or homemade, because it's like any other food. That's usually the case, right? So Sabra hummus is about as good as any other mass-produced hummus.
So LonerBox makes a great point.
Wow, thanks. Why did I draw this? I got. Oh, yeah. I drew it. I remember. I've done this before. I watched this already. I drew this because I was saying there are two arguments about why the Sabra discourse is like anti-Semitic, right? But obviously, I don't think it's them dog whistling that Sabra means like Jew born in Israel. I don't think any of these people know that or that they were intending to do that. They're trying to say that it's colonizer hummus, right? Not that they're trying to say it's like Yahud. Yeah, okay. Okay, whatever.
Streamers. Hold on a minute. I thought this was about hummus. You know, I'm tired of these people gaslighting me. Haven't the Jews been gassed enough? So you're telling me you understand what a microaggression is, but you can't understand why a Jewish man might be uncomfortable with this. I feel like this is indefensible, blatant, obvious anti-Semitism, and this was greenlit by Twitch to appear on their main stage. How is that even possible? Right in front of their sponsors too. Chevron, Capcom, and Samsung. This racial tier list was brought to you by our sponsors, Chevron, Capcom, and Samsung. This is an example of Twitch management elevating a racist nobody like Frogan at the detriment of their own company's well-being. Why? After the predictable controversy this caused, Dan Clancy, the CEO, went live for the first time after 2 weeks and did an FAQ.
It's exciting to be here. Mary, thanks for having me. It's always a joy to do this with you. And we have a lot to talk about. And, looking forward to questions.
Let's take a look at some of the questions they got. This person asked, do you plan on addressing the anti-Semitism problem? Dan's response? Permanent ban. Why do you not ban streamers that show terrorist propaganda on your website? Good question. Permanent ban. Do you care to comment about the ADL and anti-Semitism on Twitch? Ban. Why the fuck is the CEO banning people for asking reasonable questions about a relevant controversy they've been in? What the fuck is this? These are not even written like in a mean way. You are banned, just like the entire country of Israel. It had just been discovered around the same time as this Arab tier list that Twitch had secretly, without announcing it.
I still can't believe this happened. That they stopped you from being able to make a new account if you were in Israel. And by extension, if you're a Palestinian living in Israel as well. That's just mental. That's just such a wacky. Why the fuck? Why was that not like a bigger news story?
Anywhere, banned the entire country of Israel from creating new accounts. This was enacted right after October 7th, and it continued on for a year. And if you're wondering how you didn't hear about it before, it's not because the Israelis weren't talking. Here's the top Israeli streamer's video about it, which is entitled, "Twitch does not want Jews on their platform."
I'm just wondering. I'm just trying to imagine being one of these like tanky leftists watching this video and seeing the top Israeli streamer and seeing a guy who looks like this and being like, wait, oh, what? Like not knowing what's supposed to. Anyway.
He explains that they slowly started to realize no accounts could be made, and him and his fellow Israeli streamers were causing a lot of noise to get noticed. But Twitch completely ignored them for 5 months.
Yeah, he's most likely Ethiopian, right? Unless there were like Somali Jews or whatever. Yeah, be Ethiopian. Yeah. Or were they Eritrean Jews? I don't fucking, yeah, he's probably Ethiopian. I don't hear much about Eritrean Jews or Somali Jews, but yeah, it's like, bro, where's this guy going? Where's this guy going back to? This Polish imposter.
When he created a support ticket with Twitch, it was straight up deleted with zero explanation. Around the end of the year, when people started talking about anti-Semitism on Twitch, Dan Saltman discovered the Israel ban when he was sent the code proving the block happened, presumably from someone who works at Twitch, and it could no longer be ignored. Israeli and American media started to pick up the story, which finally forced Twitch to respond. He also explains the block started on October 13th, which happens to be Global Jihad Day, when Islamic terrorists call on others globally to act, which he thinks is an odd coincidence. They were never notified in any way, and it greatly affected their business. He says he doesn't feel safe with Dan Clancy in power, as he feels he can no longer trust him. When Israelis try to sign up, it gives you a generic error message. It doesn't say anything that suggests that you're ineligible because you're in Israel. So when one of these guys wrote to Twitch customer service, this is what they said. "I am really sorry."
There's a Christian Eritrean diaspora in Israel. Ah, is there not a Sudanese one as well? So wait, is that guy the biggest Israeli streamer? Is he not Jewish, or is he just an Ethiopian? Is he an Ethiopian Jew, or he could be a Christian Eritrean or Sudanese, right?
Sorry that you are having issues creating.
That's a tanned Polish dude. Stop.
An account.
Stop.
We have reviewed your case thoroughly and can confirm that, unfortunately, you are not eligible to create a Twitch account. As a result, we will be closing your case at this time.
Under the new increased scrutiny, Dan Clancy panicked and posted 2 terrible explanations on Twitter that were immediately community noted.
How can Twitch say on one hand that they've reviewed the case thoroughly, and then on the other hand say it was an accident and they didn't know? This is all very fishy. A big media company like Twitch doesn't realize that their new account signups from Israel has completely flatlined? You're telling me that you guys didn't notice that? That's impossible.
Whoa, John, thanks for the $49.99. That's so generous of you. What the fuck? Thank you so much. God damn. Heck.
Then, at the same time, it was announced that Sneeko, Fresh and Fit, and the little Houthi twink terrorists were all unbanned and they could stream again on Twitch. This is like the holy trinity of anti-Semitism.
So guys, yeah, we're back on Twitch. Welcome. I know we had gotten
banned or whatever, or we got suspended. But I went ahead and appealed it, and we're back in the house, man. So for all the haters out there that were like, you know, oh yeah, they got banned on Twitter. Don't be mad, guys, because we are back in the house. They can't stop us.
They did stop them an hour later. All 3 of the accounts were eventually rebanned. But the decision to unban those 3...
I'm really curious about why this happened. I know that Sneeko and Myron obviously both have done the Free Palestine thing and thrown flags around and shit like that, but I really don't know if that was the reason. It did kind of fuck with my head when I saw it. I was like, what the fuck? Like, especially given that, like... You wouldn't. It's just so out of character for Twitch to unban these guys. It could have been a rogue employee. Yeah, it's not impossible.
3 creators at that exact time, and being 3 of the best known anti-Semites on the internet, seems to clearly be trying to send a message. And then it was discovered that Twitch's head of policy and community guidelines was previously fired from her job publicly by the British government. Why? She does not like the Jews. That's right. Their head of trust and safety was previously suspended from her job at Ofcom for being too anti-Zionist. And guess where her very next job was at? That's right, Twitch TV. Apparently she was posting pro-Hamas tweets only mere days after October 7th happened. That's so interesting. It sounds just like someone else we know. It's almost like supporting terrorists.
Wait, where are the examples, though? What did she say?
Is institutional. Hell, it might even be a prerequisite.
Who's this person?
Take a look at this tweet from Twitch's senior manager of inclusive marketing.
Okay, wait. Who's this person?
Chirmating on October 12th. People are posting screenshots of them donating to Israel relief funds. Shake my head, y'all are truly rooting for the oppressor. Read a damn book. Okay. This tweet was made only 5 days after the October 7th massacre.
So the first person was just being anti-Israel, where she was supposed to be impartial. Yeah, I thought I saw something there about just like accusing them of ethnic cleansing, which again, if you're supposed to be impartial, yeah, you wouldn't do that, but depending on the context. What did it say? Maybe I can just see what he's got in the screenshot.
Fired from her job publicly by the British government. Why? She does not like the Jews. That's right.
Wait, so she liked an Instagram post accusing Israel of ethnic cleansing on October 16th. Okay, so this is just her being partial when she's not supposed to be. That's not her being anti-Semitic, I don't think.
Their head of trust and safety was previously suspended from her job at Ofcom for being too anti-Zionist. And guess where her very next job was at? That's right, Twitch TV. Apparently she was posting...
That's probably the weakest part of the video, actually, if he's included that, because that's just not a good example. Not at all. She might have said worse things. But there's another person here.
Hamas tweets only mere days after October 7th happened. That's so interesting. It sounds just like someone else we know. It's almost like supporting terrorists is institutional. Hell, it might even be a prerequisite. Take a look at this tweet from Twitch's senior manager of inclusive marketing, Chirmating, on October 12th. People are posting screenshots of them donating to...
She also made a comment comparing it to Auschwitz. Well, it's on Ethan to put that in the video then, right? Because do you think everyone's going to be checking up more shit? If you have a good case, then show your good case in your video. Fuck. Where's his phone number? I'm going to call him. I'm going to shit on him. Piece of crap. All right. This person, this is a good example. This is unhinged, right? To give money to a relief fund after they've just been fucking murdered and shit. Okay.
Israel relief funds. Shake my head, y'all are truly rooting for the oppressor. Read a damn book. This tweet was made only 5 days after the October 7th massacre. The donations she's criticizing would go to families like this, if they were still alive. This entire family was murdered in cold blood by Hamas terrorists on October 7th. Bridget, who did these little girls oppress? How can you act so high and mighty for your cause and be so callous and inhuman for the innocents on the other side? This statement was made by the senior manager for inclusive marketing. Is that some kind of joke? Is this what inclusion looks like at Twitch? Is it really crazy at this point, after all this, to say that Twitch has an anti-Semitism problem? I think it would be harder at this point to argue the opposite. Oh, Bridget, one more thing. Sorry, I forgot. Can you tell me the answer to this riddle? What's the difference between a Boy Scout and a Jewish kid? I'm standing by. Let us know. And yes, it's true. I should point out this tweet is from 2011. This one, however, is from 22. Sarah Silverman tweeted out, Kanye threatened the Jews yesterday on Twitter and it's not even trending. Why do mostly only Jews speak up against Jewish hate? The silence is so loud. Bridget said, this was the energy I was around when I worked with 2 Jewish women in social impact who were both senior to me. She's trying to make Sarah Silverman seem like some kind of Jewish Karen for caring about...
No. The nuke is ruining my relationship. My boyfriend defends Hasan. I thought I could ignore it. I didn't want to control what he consumes and just told him not to watch Hasan in front of me and he agreed. Now with all this new information about it, I can't ignore it anymore. I can't even look at my boyfriend. I really don't want to start a fight, but I can't not say anything anymore. How do I even go about approaching him on this? I know it's going to be a big fight. Oh no. Okay, first of all, if you're posting this shit on Reddit, right? If there's any identifiable information, then your relationship's done anyway. Oh, I wish this person had told us when her boyfriend or their boyfriend, I don't know their gender. I wonder if this person told us when their boyfriend had actually started watching. Hasan caught him when he was young, before we met.
About anti-Semitism. I wouldn't really care about any of this.
If she wasn't the head of fucking diversity at Twitch, what the fuck is happening here?
This is insane. So with people like her deciding what is and isn't okay on Twitch, there's no surprise that you end up with these extraordinarily uneven enforcements of the rules. Take, for example, this clip of the streamer Destiny, who was permanently banned for what he said here.
That community is never worth engaging with. There's just no point in doing it. Like, it's too, the risk of me, like, ending up getting, like, permabanned and my life destroyed because of these, like, inbred fucking disgusting losers is, like, it's just not worth it. It's just totally not worth it.
And okay, you know, fair enough. If you're going to be consistent with the enforcement, then, you know, let's have a friendly place, a safe environment. It's calling a minority group inbred, which results in a permanent ban. Okay.
Little did we know that he was actually talking about e-girls. I'm sorry. I'm just in my head thinking, like, I need to be careful what I say for now.
Okay, has anyone else done that?
The Jewish KKK brigades out there, just a bunch of fucking inbred hicks. Imagine the most inbred white supremacist guy you can imagine, okay? Every week there was another fucking psychopathic settler, inbred fucking douchebag. Oh, these inbred fucking douchebags in the background, dude. A nation entirely comprised of messianic, inbred, ultra-orthodox psychopaths that these inbred don't understand. Educated, inbred, fundamental.
I think you're handling this surprisingly well, Loner. Okay, yeah, that's true, yeah. Yeah, of course I have, yeah. That's, it's been a fucking dawdle. The last 2 months, it's been a fucking breeze.
Mentalist hicks.
Calling us in the middle of campus, calling us inbred, that we have no culture. One of them grabbed my friend's Israeli flag in the middle of campus, carried it to a mob by the gate that were communicating with the angry mobs outside of campus.
Untrained inbred asses shipped into southern Lebanon, telling us that we are all inbred and that we have no culture.
Like saying you're inbred and you have no culture, that's a bit more general. That's like, you have no culture. That's a thing that, like, that's a trope that, like, anti-Semites make in the Arab world. They have no culture. Yeah. The Jews have no culture. That's a pretty broad trope.
Want to see clips?
Inbred. I don't
think there's anything wrong with using inbred as an insult. It's just that there's a double standard that, like, one person gets banned forever for saying inbred about a group of people they don't like, but then Hasan gets away with this many inbred passes.
Inbred.
Happy birthday from Twitch, Hasan.
The clips are, and that's not necessarily the algorithm.
Hasan, a non-Jewish person, is referring to Jews as inbred consistently.
You mean a non-S tier person? That's another joke.
Throughout his career.
Inbred, ultra-Orthodox psychopaths.
Zero punishment. Hasan interviewing a Houthi pirate.
The Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do. You should tell him that.
Zero punishment. Hasan watching terrorist propaganda with zero critical commentary.
They do
They
do musicals. They're very musical people.
Are you being serious?
Zero punishment. Hasan threatening a sitting congressperson. This one actually blew my mind. When I saw he tweeted that, I said, he's done after this for sure. For sure he is. For those that may not recognize this weapon, I'll explain. Shinzo Abe is a former Japanese prime minister. He served from 2012 to 2020. He was assassinated in July of 22 in a stunning fashion that left the Japanese public horrified. He was killed with a makeshift weapon that the shooter had built himself at home. So when Hasan saw this tweet that he didn't like, he posted the schematics in what can only be presumed as an invitation to someone in his fan base to build this weapon and then assassinate this sitting congressperson who wrote a tweet he did not like. I genuinely do not know how he didn't land himself in prison for making terroristic threats. Zero punishment.
Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods.
And this isn't just a Hasan problem. It underscores a disturbing trend among leftists on Twitch. The problem is, if you can believe it, these people are frequently making death threats and facing zero consequence. I know it sounds far-fetched, but I assure you it's very real.
Listen, I'll up the number, okay? 30K to anyone who'll make this dipshit disappear.
Bro, that Destiny guy needs to get Not gonna fucking lie.
It would just be so easy to just, it would save, like, solve all of our problems. Like, we would have socialism now at this point, right? We would have socialism at this point if someone just went out of their way and.
Where do these guys come up with this shit? What the They're just all so strange.
It would be so easy.
Thing that happens, I mean, like, holy shit, guys. If you live in Florida, I have an opportunity for you. If you want to earn $100,000, let me know.
Actually, Mike from PA, the dude that's
Sorry, I forgot. Well, give me a second, okay? I just need to...
stuck in the before image of a transformation story, did receive a 3-day ban.
This man put a bounty on a fellow streamer's head. This man should not be getting a 3-day suspension. He should be getting a knock on his door from the FBI.
I made this video for 2 reasons. First, to stop Hasan infiltrating mainstream media. Hasan has been welcomed by many mainstream outlets. They view him as a friendly social democrat, as someone who's just trying to spread progressive politics online to an important demographic. But we know that's not true. He is not their friend or their ally. If you ever see Hasan rubbing shoulders with anyone from mainstream media, let them know politely, with all the civility in the world, what kind of person he is when he thinks mainstream media isn't watching. Help them understand that his name...
I just want to make a PSA as well, guys, okay? Boys, if you're ready to do this thing, if you're ready, if you're one of those people, okay? If you're one of those people who wants to signal boost and amplify leaked intimate content that was shared without consent to the public, probably don't use this excuse when people call it out. So someone who does this is called out. Leaking someone's sex is almost as bad as leaking their nudes. Did I leak them after signal boosting it? Don't use this excuse. It's probably bad. It's kind of fucking retarded. Kind of slimy. Kind of makes you look like a spineless cunt who knows exactly what they're doing and doesn't have any good excuse for it. Not my fault. The professional hole digger
should be associated with people like Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones, other fringe radical political commentators. Number 2, Twitch must be held accountable. Twitch has proven that it will not change by choice. And so...
Did you really just use the R slur, bro? Listen, I'm autistic, okay? I get one a day. I'm sorry if it offends you. I'm just, you know, I'm a big fan of positive changes, okay? But you got to get the... You got to get the easy things out of the way before the difficult ones, you know? You can't, like, fucking double, triple your work ethic, for example, before you sort out your sleep schedule, right? And you can't get like really highly improved physical health and exercise at the gym and everything before you improve your diet and things like that. Like, yeah, things like these kind of, you got to do the easy things first. Getting rid of your, excising the R slur from your repertoire, for example, on the other hand, is it's a bit more, it's higher up the ladder.
It is our moral imperative to enact that change through any reasonable means that we can. Samsung, Chevron, and Capcom. Twitch has given them a lasting association with a racial tier list with Arabs at the top and Jews at the bottom. These brands have every right to know. And they should. We all recall YouTube's adpocalypse. It happened when ads were running over ISIS recruitment videos and it caused a brand exodus. The same thing is happening now on Twitch, but instead of ISIS, it's the Houthis, Hamas, and Hezbollah. Dan Clancy's refusal to moderate extremists is the only reason for any of this. He is the sole person to blame. He had so many opportunities to stop this. Ultimately, after dedicating months of my life to creating this video, I am left with one overwhelming conclusion. Fuck this dude.
Need to make some improvements. Hang on. Yeah, that's the one. That's what we need. Okay. There we go.
Is the sole person to blame. Extremist is the only reason for any of this. He is the sole person to blame. He had so many opportunities to stop this. Ultimately, after dedicating months of my life to creating this video, I am left with one overwhelming conclusion. Fuck this dude.
And everyone clapped. Hey, well done, Ethan. Good video. Pretty cool. Couple of bits, just not very, but actually, I'm surprised by it. Thought it was actually kind of surprisingly good. The editing was very good. The jokes were good. Yeah, it's a good video. Because I know if it was a flop, Hasan would not have molded so hard as he has recently.